The views and opinions expressed during this program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not reflect the views of Explorewithsu. As such, this channel cannot be held liable for any legal actions arising from the content of this program.
Hello my besties, welcome to this channel. It's your girl Susu here. If you are not subscribed yet, please do well to subscribe, support this channel, like this video, comment and share. Thank you.
My besties, Explorewithsu brings to you the radio of Biafra live broadcast by the IPOB Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So you know it's got to be a good content full of knowledge. Take a sit, relax while you listen and learn.
Glorious song, play it, sing it, all hail Biafra. All hail Biafra, we shall always remember all that perished in the struggle for our freedom. All hail our heroes, our prayer shall be known both day and night. Say them always, all hail Biafra.
Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this very planet. It is my delight and pleasure this very evening of the 18th day of April in the year of our Lord 2015, with the time now standing at 8 minutes past 7 p.m. in the evening, to welcome each and every one of you, irrespective of where you are on the face of this very planet. We ask you to join us again, because our work will never end until the kingdom of heaven is called down to this very earth. Our work will not be done until Biafra is restored. Our work will not be done until the children of the Most High God, Chukwu Abịama, recognizes that Chukwu Abịama alone is worthy of praise. Our work will not be done until hopelessness is removed and hope. Installed. Our work will not be done until poverty is eradicated. Our work will not be done until illiteracy and ignorance is consigned to the dustbin of history. This work will not be completed until they say that we are a civilized set of people. This work will not be done until there is freedom and liberty. That is our job, and we must execute it. This job is a lot, it is immense. It is humongous. Sometimes it can be quite suffocating and very daunting. But one inescapable fact is this, that guides all that we do here, is that this is exactly what Chukwu Abịama said must be done. That is what we are doing. Therefore, wherever you are, if you have not told people before or welcomed them to what we are doing, we ask you now to try and do so. Welcome every man, woman, and child. Ask them to go to CHK 97.6 Biafra FM. I understand Enugu is working, albeit that the coverage is not as wide as it will be. We are doing the best we can to correct it. We are also making it abundantly clear to people that we are on satellite. I have said it before repeatedly, and I will keep saying it. Go and install satellite. Go and install free to air satellite. Please, we are asking you to. Our television will come on the same platform as well. The earlier or the sooner you learn how to install Radio Biafra on satellite, the better for everybody. Go and get yourself satellite. Please, I urge you. I know that 10 to 12,000 naira is quite a lot for some people. I appreciate that. And I welcome what Aba people are doing, saying they will install every 3 months 3 satellite receivers in Ijoland. We want to encourage such things, and we have actually identified, we are waiting for people, those that pledged, those that promised to support what we are doing. We are waiting for you so that we can start the propagation around Ijoland, please. Very, very key. Around the BBO as well as EFIC. You promised to try and support us in our relay station. We are waiting. We are waiting for you to fulfill your pledge so we can go there and propagate this message. Something occurred to me today which is quite astonishing. That with truth, we will actually win this very battle. And then we go to war to finish it off, to embellish it. Therefore, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you, especially those in the far eastern part of the world. In Malaysia, we want them to wake up. If you're in Malaysia and you're listening to my voice, you must attend your nearest family meeting. From this coming month of May, I want Malaysia to go back to how it used to be before. But everybody involved in tittle-tattle and in gossip, they are not welcome back, please. Our forgiveness doesn't extend to them. They are not allowed to come back. They should stay outside and continue to watch in to see what we are doing. To understand that as long as you are very, very clear and open, honest and transparent in all your dealings, you have nothing to fear. Your hands are clean, your conscience very clear. Why then should you be afraid? This very evening, we are also broadcasting live and direct, transmitting to the entirety of humanity via our web portals, please, our listening posts, of which the principal one of them is www.radiobiafra.co. Radio Biafra, that is it is very unique. It's not .com, it is .co.co. Tell people we are .co.co, please, not .com. When we decide to launch our website for our newspapers as well, it will be .co, BiafraHerald.co, the BiafraTimes.co, not .com. So you will know we are distinct. It will, because when people go to search for you, the instinct is to type in .com. If you are led by the Spirit, you will type in .co. You will pay attention and you type in .co. And you'll be with us. People right now, this very second, are listening to us via www.radiobiafra.co. Some of you are listening to us via IPOB.org. That is IPOB.org. Some of you also are listening to us via indigenouspeopleofbiafra.org. We are also on biafratelevision.co, please. biafratelevision.co. It is our other sister listening post. I said a listening post, please, not a radio station. If you go to www.ipob.org, rblworld.tv. We are also there. If you have not downloaded TuneIn app, endeavor to do so. Go there, download it, search for Radio Biafra, please. Radio Biafra, nothing else. We don't answer any other name, please, for your information. Only Radio Biafra. Go and search for it. You will be able to find us. And once you find us, try and pin it either on your desktop or on the front screen of your whatever device that you're using to listen to us, so that one tap or one click, you'll be able to join us every blessed morning and evening. And today will not be an exception. Having covered all those platforms, we therefore go out and tell you now to do what you should rightly do. Use every social media platform you are on to tell those around you that you're listening to Radio Biafra. Inbox your friends and your family. Tell them to listen. Don't preach Biafra to them. Ask them to listen to Radio Biafra. That's all they need to do. Once they listen and they are part of us spiritually, they will naturally be drawn to us. Don't preach Biafra to people. Get them to listen to Radio Biafra. Get them to listen to Radio Biafra. Very, very important. Very, very critical that you try and do that all the time. We are here to preach this very gospel in truth and honesty. If you do wrong, we will castigate you. If you do right, we will praise you. We are not here to make friends. We are here to unite Biafran families. We are here to speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You may not like it. You may be affected adversely by it. We may preach against what you're practicing or what you're doing. But if you're a child of heaven, you will look beyond that and come to us, because we preach the truth here. We don't go back. We don't twist our words. We don't tell you one thing today and then tomorrow we change it for something else. We don't deal with zoo politicians. We don't deal with corrupt individuals. We don't go to people who are tainted to become part of what we are doing, because Biafra is a Biafra of conscience, or it is nothing. If you don't have it in your heart, if your heart and your body, your mind and your soul is not clean, you cannot do Biafra if you are tainted. If you're a kidnapper, if you're a liar, if you're a cheat and you're a deceiver, you cannot speak the way we do. It is impossible for you to do so. We do what we do because heaven asked us to come and not man. Heaven asked us to come and not man. That is why every morning and every evening, every afternoon, of course, we stay sometimes to prep, respond to messages and run this global movement as well. That is all that we do. We don't do anything else. We make sure that Biafra comes. That is what we're working on every blessed day, morning, noon, and night. That is nothing else we do. Nothing else. This is it. And we do so in truth and in every honesty, having realized the importance and the damaging effect of corruption. Biafra failed before because we were corrupt. Biafra failed before because we were ill prepared. All those limitations and shortcomings, all those negative impact that made it impossible for us to prevail between 67 and 70, we have learned our mistakes. Now we have come with a new way and a new style, and things are happening. Believe you me, our people are being converted. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. I don't believe it. My goodness me. I go out on the street and people I thought would not recognize me, they do. It's quite interesting. Very interesting indeed. Our people are responding. I have to be honest with you. Perhaps we need to look for a far more refined way of making sure we utilize, or should I say, we harvest the opinion or the goodwill of people directed towards us. That is something we have not done because we don't want to pay a lot of attention to fundraising. It may distract us from what we are doing, or it may detract us from what we are doing. We don't want that to happen. But we welcome all of that, all your goodwill messages, all your messages of support, your prayers, your thoughts, and your kindness towards us, by which I mean the editorial board of Radio Biafra, my office, the Directorate of State as well as to Biafran families scattered all over this very world. You must be prepared for what is to come, because that thing is going to come eventually. Our Fulani will provoke it, not us. They will provoke it, and they're coming. There is one method they intend to use before I go on to pray. In fact, I should pray first of all before I go any further, and ask Chukwu Abịama to come once again to take control of our proceedings this very evening. We don't ask for much, just that your will may be done on this earth as it is in heaven. That's what we pray for. Ka uche gị mee n'elu ụwa dịka o si dị n'eluigwe. That is all we ask for. Chukwu Abịama, the creator of life, the giver of hope, you that sustain those who are unsustainable by the acts or the governance of man. For you are the most high God, Chukwu Abịama. We worship you and we bow before your throne. We give you every praise and every honor and every adoration and adulation. We kneel, we bow, we prostrate, not before any other thing, but before your magnificence. We announce it proudly to the whole world that we are your children. You have never abandoned us before, and you do not intend to and will not abandon us. Because if it had been your wish for us to be abandoned, you would not have asked us to come. You would not have put this very pure thought in our hearts. You would not have given us the fortitude and the grace, the strength. And the courage to proceed along the path we have chosen. For only you asked us to come, and we have come to honor and worship you, that in the end Biafra will be restored, and following that very restoration, your name will be praised on this very earth forever and ever. Forever and ever we will worship you. You asked us not to have any other God before you, and we don't intend to. All this we pray for in no other name than yours, Chukwu Abịama. He said, my name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of indigenous people of Biafra all over this very world, the commander of all her forces, and in the same token, the director of Radio Biafra. By the very special grace of heaven, not that of this very earth, by the grace of Chukwu Abịama and not man, I will now and always remain not only incorruptible, remaining whiter than white and whiter than snow. I will serve you dutifully and diligently until Biafra is restored and beyond. I will not lie to you. I will not deceive you. I will not cut any deal with our Fulani. I will not negotiate with the Zoological Republic. I will not do anything to bring the name of Biafra into disrepute. I will not do anything to bring shame to the Most High God Chukwu Abịama that asked me to come. I will not do anything to disappoint you. I swear it on my life. I will not do it. Never. Biafra is more important than life itself. You get Biafra and you get immortality. That is something that money can never buy. We have come to serve you. Others may have lied to you. They may have deceived you. They may have betrayed their inconsistency. They may have displayed their unreliability. That doesn't apply to IPOB, which I lead. IPOB is a different breed altogether. We have come with truth. That truth has sustained us, and that very truth will ensure that we prevail. That is why it is important to acknowledge that truth is life. Without truth, you are nothing. And here, we have it in abundance. That is why nobody can rise up and say that they are lying. They can never say that. Those that thought that we were lying before, have they not disappeared? They have disappeared. because we have confounded them. We have compounded all their lies. We have made it possible for the world to see that indeed we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. If you cannot trust what we are doing, then you don't even trust your own self. We have given you no reason not to trust us, and now is the time to prove it. As I said earlier, the armies of Biafra are men and women who are prepared to die for their country. Awasa is now doing what Gowon said he should have done before, which is to come and give money to Igbo people to replicate what we are doing to confuse all of you. So there will be people that will come out to try to set up radio stations to make you think that they're fighting for Biafra. They will do that. These are people who are very hungry, quite naturally so. There are those of you that money will be given to you to try to disrupt the activities of IPOB. If we're having meeting, of course, we know that Ifajun of our time was negotiating such contracts, and he's going to die very soon. He will die very, very soon. We wait for them to make the very first move, and then he's basically a goner. We are waiting for him to make. They will make the first move. That is how the devil works. The devil will push them to move, and they will move against us, and then we kill them. I get all the reports every blessed day. We just wait, sit, and watch them. They will make the first move, and once they do it, then we decimate them and tell them that we are the silent majority. We don't run to Yoruba newspapers to write rubbish. No, we don't. We want to tell them that we are prepared and determined. Our enemies are Awasa, Fulani, Yoruba. Our enemies are not those fathered by Awasa people answering to Igbo names. When the time comes, you'll be screened. Your DNA will tell us who you are. If you are Awasa, Fulani, you will go back to Katsina and live there. Maybe before you start following Owazirike, go and ask your mother who got her pregnant. Because some of you following Owazirike, you were born of Awasa men. If you doubt me, go to hospital and check. Because no sensible person will follow Owazirike. If you are reasonable, if you watch him very well, you can never follow him. You know he's not a freedom fighter. There is another con artist, a rogue. But of course, I don't blame you. Your black disposition will only allow you to absorb what is patently evil. For us, we believe in the goodness and the kindness, the mercy of heaven, not that of man. This is Radio Biafra. We allow them to move against us, please. Once they move against IPOB, then they are toast. We show them how big we are. We don't want to show our enemies how strong we are until the time comes. As I said before, we never lose. Any battle we go into, we win. Eventually we win. It doesn't matter what happens. Eventually we prevail. And when we do, I will come here and tell you, did I not tell you so? So allow the vagabonds to be running about. There is high unemployment. People are wanting to be useful. Some people are so hopelessly misguided that they will join even Lucifer to do whatever Lucifer asks them to do because they can give them 500 naira each. If you're following Owazirike, you're as good as dead. Mark my words somewhere and see what's going to happen to you. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we're direct. We are here to get Biafra, nothing more, nothing less. We are not going to get any oil well. Again. You can't give me what belongs to me. We are not going to cut any deal. Want to borrow you well to build a house in Abuja and in Lagos and be running about is answering a chief to Igbo people. That is madness. If you say you are an Igbo chief, that means you are less than an animal, to be honest with you, because you are nothing. Igbo is not a nation. Igbo is a language. You are the chief of a particular language. That is stupidity. There was nothing like an Igbo nation. You had Biafra, which had more or less what you call they were living according to what is called a mosaic system, which means everybody on his own or her own. That is how you have autonomous communities. There is no centralized Igbo governance anywhere in this world. No, but there was one for Biafra, where it was agreed that everybody will live without interference from any other person. We lived that way for 5,000 years until the white man came, rendered asunder what put us together. The center fell apart, couldn't be put back together again. That is how you got things fall apart. As simple as that. We are live and we are direct, and heaven is also presiding over our proceedings this very evening, with the time now standing at approximately 28 minutes past 7 p.m. in the evening. We welcome you wherever you are. I will wait for the barrister to join me at the appropriate time, and when he does, via Viber, of course, I will bring him to your attention. But now, barring anything extraordinary, we must proceed to bring you our news headlines and accompanying news summary this very day. This is our PM edition. And I must remember those who are working very hard. I remember our LCD crew. that report every day, Juxike, Digwe, and Co. Doing excellently well. These are the type of people who are after my own heart. Very, very dedicated, very, very determined, with minimal complaint or force. They think we forget them. They know we don't. All of you working very hard in secret, you think we don't know. Of course we know. All the reports come to me. I know those who are working very hard. Without their names being acknowledged or mentioned, we know what you're doing. And at the appropriate time, you will see how we'll celebrate you. We know. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep working very hard. Keep making sure that we propagate this very gospel. Within it lies the truth. That is our main killer weapon, is Yugu. We are not going to abandon it. And this is Radio Biafra. I will go on this very evening to report that the violence in South Africa is continuing. South African police have detained more than 30 people as a wave of violence continues against Africans. Black people in South Africa killing fellow black people. Amazing. I never thought in my lifetime I would read such nonsense, but I have become accustomed to what I will call the rather very, quite distasteful and worrying characteristics that an average black person embodies. I was lamenting about black people. Nobody wanted to pay me attention. They said, no, you are insulting us. He keeps insulting us. He's calling us baboons and monkeys. Can you even tell me if baboons and monkeys can do what is happening in South Africa now? Do you think that chimpanzees can wake up one morning and say to every chimpanzee entering into that territory, we're going to kill all of you in one day? Even chimpanzees cannot do what is happening in South Africa. And the reason why the stupidity of black people keeps increasing every blessed year is because, as Americans will keep telling us all the time, all it takes for evil to flourish is for good people to say nothing. Owazurike's criminal Masop empire flourished because people kept quiet. Some of you are listening in America. Some of you are listening in Europe as I speak this very evening. In America, before a black person can go to work, go to decent school, the likes of Martin Luther King Jr. fought for it. They didn't keep quiet. The whites said you will not go to school. Black people started together and said, no, this is wrong. We must do something about it. And some people died in the process. This is something that really, really strikes me, and I feel very bad. The saddest thing is that in times gone by, before the white man came, Biafran people never tolerated evil. They never did. There was no organized evil. If somebody can come out and say, oh, ROC said this or said that, that will only apply to a very limited number of people. But for people to keep quiet, somebody like Ifajuna came and was stealing in the name of the people. Every blessed day is mushi. He brought kidnapping, he brought armed robbery, everything that is evil. Now he has grown to the point whereby you can rent a mob. You cannot believe that Buhari and some people, Awasa people, are now working with Masop to see how they can stop the work we are doing, IPOB is doing on the ground. Can you believe that? I don't, sometimes I wonder, anyway, they came back for their own kind. Because the only Igbo person that can listen to an Awasa person is an Igbo person with an Awasa blood in him. I repeat. The only Igbo person that will listen to an Awasa person is an Igbo person with an Awasa blood inside him. For example, Jim Nwobodo, born of an Awasa father. He's answering Nwobodo. You would think he's one of you, but he's not. An Awasa man he is. That's how you know them. They are never consistent. And today, Awasa people have brought in, I don't know how much they gave them. Is it up to $1 million? And they said they want to disrupt what IPOB is doing. We want to disrupt it. Why? Because you're doing Biafra to Chanja market. You are an ordinary motor packed out. And you think you have what it takes to sit down in front of governments of the world and argue Biafra. Is that what you're telling me? You're a petty kidnapper in the village. There is no difference between what you're doing and what the mafiosi are doing in places like, say, Sicily. You're a petty thug, a petty thief. You're just a petty rogue. The only thing is that you cover it with a veneer of Biafra. People think you're serious, but of course you're not. And everybody following you or supporting you is born of Awasa man. Go and do blood test. You will know. That is how Chukwu Abiyama has a way of filtering out chaff. Things that are, of monumentally irrelevance. Things that you cannot count to mean anything at all. in South Africa, I have seen black people behaving worse than monkeys. I never thought I would say that. Before, I used to compare them to, oh, they are monkeys and baboons. No. Baboons and monkeys are actually better than you. Because what is happening in South Africa today, baboons and monkeys cannot do that. That is how backward, mentally and intellectually black people are. Intellectually backwards. If you send white people out to South Africa, they all behave themselves. Once they see a white person, they all behave. They see fellow black people and they begin to... Reminds me of what Ifajuna is doing. And you people kept quiet. It was looking at Smushi. Never make kidnapping and you're like, one kid. And you think one day he will go away. Oh God, no, he won't until you remove him. But I will give the order very soon. We are waiting for them to make their first move. One singular mistake they make, and then we go after them with all we've got. And that time is very imminent. It's coming very soon. And you hear that they are dead. And when you hear it, any idiot calling to blame us, do you know that Awasa have given them money? Are you aware of that? To destroy Biafra? You're about to find out. When it starts, don't blame us, please. This is Radio Biafra, and we must continue. The zoo spent 61 billion trying to free South Africa from apartheid. And today, South Africa, blacks in South Africa are chasing other black people and killing them. I remember when I used to listen to Sonia Kosin talking about that Africa will never surrender. I was mentioning the names of people like Steve Biko, those that died. I said that, remember Sonia Kosin, tell them that freedom is the answer. Do you remember that song? I'm that old. We used to listen to it and talk about South Africa. And in fact, as murderous as Murtala Mohammed was, Murtala Mohammed actually went to OAU meeting, stood up and said that Africa should put together an army to go and attack South Africa. He said it and came back and they shot the murderer to pieces. Barrister has joined me, and before I go any further, I must defer to him. Barrister, can you hear me?
Good evening, Director.
Good evening. I was waiting for you.
Yes, of course I heard your voice. That's why I kept running until I ran down home.
You did very well.
To you.
You did very well, Barrister. Please proceed. We are waiting. Please go ahead.
Good evening, fellow Biafrans, wherever you are. We are on again today to tell you what is happening around the world and to organize and bring Biafrans together so that we can go home. All of us go home because what is happening to Biafrans worldwide is not acceptable within the standard of living beings. We have been used as pawns. We've been degraded, downgraded, looked down and frowned down upon. And this has to stop at sometime very soon. Director, I saw some videos coming out from South Africa. They are burning black people, young people. I have tweeted to Zuma. I reminded him that all blacks helped to free all of them against apartheid. It is very, very shameful that now Zuma is sitting down and watching, and blacks, especially the people they call Nigerians, are Biafrans. I told Zuma, you are killing Biafrans in your land, and you kept quiet. If you don't support this evil, go on air, go to television, and speak against it. I've tweeted Zuma for him to take note. The atrocity that is being committed in South Africa should be the last to harm any black man or woman. But it's a shame they have descended to that low. Very, very low, below zero. It's a shame. Biafrans, wherever you are, please come together. Go straight to your devices and listen to what we are saying this evening, as director is already on the seat. And we are here with you throughout this evening until the end of this program. Director, as always, I'll be with you. And of course, I'm standing by.
Thank you very much, Barrister. Very eminent and accomplished, and we're grateful to have Barrister here with us this very evening, of course, via secure line all the way from London. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct, and I must not hesitate but proceed to continue with our news headline presentation and hopefully accompanying news summary. Chukwabiama willing, of course. They said the zoo has spent 61 billion trying to free South Africa from apartheid. As I was recalling earlier, the song that was many people produced and put out. I remember Miriam Makiba's songs, the way she fought very gallantly, the way she was celebrated when she came to the zoo for First Tax 77, which is another jamboree called by a Yoruba man. You know, any little money they get, they do a wambe. Obasanjo did his own wambe in 1977. First Tax, it was called, where billions were squandered instead of investing in the economy. They called one giant, massive black party. God. Miriam Makiba was there and she sang. I remember watching it as small as I was on television in those days. Quite compelling. Everybody was feeling sorry or feeling bad about South Africa, wanting to empathize with them. And today they have turned typical black people to try and kill as many of fellow black Africans as possible. As you heard the barrister, he has been tweeting, trying to get Zuma to recall some of these things. There was a piece that emerged nearly a few days ago, on the 14th of this very April, about Buhari drawing battle lines with Southeast and South-South. People recommending he should be sent to the USA for lessons in democracy. Buhari is a terrorist without certificate. It is one thing to be a terrorist with certificate and one thing to be a terrorist without certificate. Buhari is a terrorist without certificate. Very sad indeed. Extremely sad. But he is there. They say he has got problems with South. Why wouldn't he? These are our mortal enemies. There is something the world doesn't understand. Do you know I've been studying the history of advanced nations of the world ever since? And do you know one thing that characterizes the way they exist is that they always have one enemy or the other to fight. Do you know what it does? It's like, do you know that when you give birth to a child and the child's environment is always sterilized, no attacks from any virus or bacteria or nothing. You know, they are always normal. No fungal attacks. It's always, everywhere is clean and sterilized. Any day that very child, and first of all, your immune system will start to fight themselves. There's nothing for them to fight. Do you understand that? And also, if not that, your immune system will not be trained well enough to deal with foreign invaders or pathogens, if I'm not mistaken. Please forgive my medical knowledge. It may not be as extensive as some of you possess. Do forgive me. Do you know that a child needs a little bit of jam or germs in him or her to be able to be healthy? They will make the child very sick. No doubt about it. But it makes the child stronger as well as soon as they recover. Go and ask anybody and they will tell you. Of course, some germs or diseases could be damaging either to any of the organs, but at the same time, the immune system are working all the time and in tip-top shape. That is why I say that anytime IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra, anytime we encounter any roadblock or any problem, it is a time for us to get stronger. That's the meaning of it. It doesn't mean that you capitulate and you start running away. No, you don't. That obstacle is there for you to overcome it to become stronger. Anytime you overcome any problem, you become stronger for it. Anything that doesn't kill you makes you a whole lot stronger. You must understand that. Why I sabotage Jonathan according to Babangida? I WhatsApp people. Of course, they will always. I remember on Radio Biafra, which is the only thing I can tell you, that we said it before. We don't predict. We tell you exactly how things are going to be, and they will be exactly that same way. Exactly that same way. It doesn't change. We told you that that Babangida will abandon Jonathan. Jonathan went to Mina to go and see him. I said, Jonathan, you're wasting your time. This man is a murderer. This man is the one that industrialized corruption. If corruption was something you did through subsistence, if it was at a very subsistence level, this man came and commercialized it. Babangida. Hausa man, of course, is Gwari, but Hausa people conquered Gwari people, so they forced them to speak Hausa with their Islam. Babangida is a murderer. He killed Dele Giwa. Everybody knows that. But because there were not sufficient good people to hold him to account, he's still alive today, causing havoc and mayhem. Ghana was doing very well until an Hausa man went in, John Mahama. He answers John, but he's an Hausa man. His name is Mahama. The current Ghanaian president is an Hausa man. And for the very first time in nearly 10 years, Ghana is now experiencing epileptic power supply because Hausa man is in charge. That's the way they are. They don't know how to run anything at all in life. Why am I drawing this type of inference? It's because Babangida should have been dead by now. What happened in Ghana with Jerry Rawlings should have happened to Babangida by now. But he's alive because good people are not there. Now you understand why I have no regard for the baboons and monkeys in the zoo answering to elder statesmen, or because they lack conscience. And you cannot carry out a revolution in the zoo because everything is divided along religious and ethnic lines. We are not the same. If I go to Hausa to carry out a revolution, they say, Igbos have come again, or Biafrans have come again. Isn't it? Isn't that what they will say? But I can go to Okigwe and carry out a revolution. You cannot accuse me that Igbos have come again. Think about that. Think about it. That is why there can never be any progress in the zoo. Babangida, of course, sabotaged Jonathan. Who didn't sabotage him? He was imbecilic and very weak. Russia is to loan $2 billion for liquefied natural gas pipeline. Everything comes, and that loan will go to Yoruba. Yoruba will use it to lay pipeline, make all the money in the world, go and build a new Lekki Phase 1006. And then our Ijaw brothers will be security guard for the pipeline. Pipeline contract. What a joke. What a wretched, pathetic joke. Why petrol station attendants smile when scarcity bites? Because they make money from it. What? I don't blame them anymore. Judges are thieves. Journalists, if you don't pay them money, do not publish any good story. In fact, doctors, if you go to hospital, if you don't pay any down payment, you die on the table there and then. You will die there on the table. Everywhere is reeking with corruption, theft. Everybody is a thief. You sleep in an hotel and somebody comes and you give them money to go and buy you something. Please, I'm in this hotel. I want water. Can you please get me water? You pay them to buy you water and they never return the change in hotels. Everywhere. You go to fast food joints to go and buy fast food to take away to eat. They'll tell you, oh God, we don't have 50 naira. Your change is 750 naira, but there's no 50 naira. Every blessed day. I don't know. The Zoological Republic. Unbelievable. But even petrol attendants are in on it as well. Everybody is a thief. The National Association of Nigerian Students, those that they give plastic laptops to. You know, those that went to university and the little they had in their brain taken away from them. Useless and hopeless. Undergraduates in the zoo, there is nothing in their brain. Unless you are naturally brilliant. If you're naturally brilliant, you're saved. I have come across many graduates here. Plenty as many of them. They cannot stitch any sentence together. I'm not concerned about English language. I want you to speak your own language. Put a decent, clear sentence together. They can't do it. And they're university graduates. They don't know where the verbs are supposed to go. They don't know how to even deploy their tenses. They can't do it. But they are graduates. They have spoken. These students that don't go to school, they're always on strike. From the zoo, they are giving South African government 7 days ultimatum to stop xenophobic attacks. And then what will happen? You go to a curator to give you more laptop, plastic fake laptops from China, purchased with the salaries belonging to teachers, your own school teachers, not being paid. They take money they take salary of a university lecturer. They go and buy plastic laptops and they give you and you take. Everything in the zoo is awful. Awful. 400 Syrian churches destroyed. Christianity is being wiped away from the face of the Middle East, according to Russian Orthodox Patriarch, as the world is keeping quiet. The terror, Obama is laughing. Anytime any church collapses, Obama is laughing in the White House. They are wiping away Christianity from the Middle East. Some of you were against Israel before, weren't you? What is happening now? Did Israel wipe away any mosques? I remember very well that Ariel Sharon had the Dome on the Rock in his sites in 1967 during the Yom Kippur War. They entered into what you now call euphemistically East Jerusalem. Ariel Sharon, if you remember him, he wanted to destroy the dome on the rock and every Islamic structure inside the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem. The mistake he made was to call his superior in Tel Aviv, who told him not to do it. And of course, being a military man, you have to obey orders. He said if he had known, he would have gone on to destroy it. Today, the same Muslims are destroying Christian churches, and the world is quiet. Do you see how evil flourish in the absence of good people? There is no more strong figure like George Bush to defend Western values, in essence, Judeo-Christian traditions. And the world is going crazy. They are running rampant everywhere. They are destroying everything. And there is nothing anybody can do about it. In the absence of good men, evil will always flourish. Why do you think Igbo land went into such decay? Why do you think they were able to come and divide us into heaven knows how many places? There is Ohaji, Ebema in Rivers State. They said Rivers people are not Igbo people. But there's Ohaji and Ebema inside it. Can you understand? Do you begin to follow what we are saying? Can you understand it? We allowed them. People never spoke up. They carved us up. Nobody told them that the Mpodo people came from Ibibio. Nobody told us that Abeba people came from Ibibio as well. Nobody told us that even Arochukwu you see today, some of them came from Efik land. We just kept quiet. They kept forming their states, cutting us off. Even Asaba, that people changed their names from Igbo names to something else that is meaningless to us. They said, oh, they are Bendel state. Bendel, they are Midwest. I beg your pardon. You're telling me that people bearing the name Umunede, they are Midwest. Oh, God forbid. How about Igbo Akere? Igbo Akere. Or Yabanke, as they call it. Are they not Igbo people? We kept quiet and our lands were being carved up, being divided, being given. We allowed Idoma went, Igala went. Everybody, we were being cut off from everybody. All our relatives. It's like having a man cutting off the legs and the hands. And then finally the head. It's only the torso that is left. Very sad indeed, isn't it? Because in the absence of good people, evil will always flourish. That is why on Radio Biafra, we don't condone any rubbish. We do what is right before heaven and before this very earth. We speak the truth always. It doesn't matter because in the end, light will always prevail over darkness. Obulafo has moved to join APC. They said he's holding meeting with Oyegun. This is the man that awarded 100 million naira contract and he was chased away. This man, you don't know him. He's from Umuahia as well as I am. This man was in AMPP. He contested against Ojo Zokalo and he lost. But he actually won the election anyway. But in order for Ojo Zokalo to compensate him for them not to go to court, Ojo Zokalo spoke to his friends within PDP in those days, and he decamped from AMPP to join PDP, where they made him the chairman of PDP all over the zoo. Today, PDP is no longer in vogue, so why don't we try APC? These are men without honor. There is no honor. There is no consistency. There is nothing about them that tells you that they are serious about what they believe in. That is what scares them about Radio Biafra IPOB. The only thing that frightens them about the work is like they know we are not. I say it on the air. I am saying it here now. All of you in the zoo, be you politician or anybody you are, even those approaching me, do I see you? Do I return your calls? Do I want to have anything to do with you? I'm saying it live on air. So if you know, if you're a Nigerian politician, you are a zoo, a baboon, a monkey that claims they have something to do with us, phone us on air and say, oh, I met Nnamdi Kanu at some place to discuss how they can abandon this thing they're doing. It can never happen. When they hear our names, they faint. They know we cannot be compromised. Are you not afraid to approach us? Are you not afraid? I said, We may not have money, but there is nothing we want to do which we are not able to do. It's impossible. Anything we want to do, we do it. These are the people without honor. These are those you want us to go and meet. Oh, have you spoken to Igbo politicians? They are now going to join APC. From AMPP to PDP, from PDP to APC. If there is a military coup tomorrow, they will join the military. No honor, no dignity, no consistency. And these are the people you want us to work with. You must be dreaming. You must be dreaming. Obulafo. Disgraceful. Rivers Council chairman abducted. What is new? Is that new? It's not new now. It's not news. Igbo leaders are a disgrace. Not me saying it. Somebody has written in the Punch newspaper. Because what the Punch are trying to do is to, they have mounted a two-pronged attack. Yoruba media on one side and then Buhari and his men on the other side. What they're trying to do is the Yorubas will come and reduce your confidence to a very low ebb. And then Awasa will come. They have found a way in already. They have given Owazirike a contract. You said you're going to stop these people, you're going to destroy them, but they are waxing strong every blessed day. What are you doing about it? That is why I say to all IPOB families, and I can understand the reason or the need why Barrister and some people within the directorate are saying that everybody must be under oath. Now I can see the reason why. But if anybody comes into our meeting, decides to be a saboteur tomorrow, you will kill that very person. That's an order from me. But we must establish their guilt before we do anything of that sort. Please. Very, very important. Some of them will come from with Hausa blood in them. Hunger, what hunger does to people. Especially, an Igbo man cannot control hunger. They can't control it. When there was no food during 67 to 70, if you ask them, why did you give up in the war, they will tell you it's because of lack of food. But the question then is, I'm digressing a bit, I'm talking about Igbo leaders being a disgrace. It's being written by the Punch newspaper. It's here in front of me. We are blogging news, we don't write them. This very news about Igbo leaders being a disgrace is in the Punch newspaper, and I agree with them, incidentally. I do. Because they're a disgrace. If I manage to be an Igbo leader, which I cannot be a leader for a language. If it's Biafra, I can understand that, but I can never be an Igbo leader because Igbo is a language, not a people. Now, if for some reason I manage to find myself in any worthwhile position of influence, I will not allow Ebema and Duguta to be cut into the River State would not have been created. If you create it, I will make sure that you acknowledge that we are one people. I will work tirelessly hard, the same way we are doing now, to make sure that from a Banke to Opobo, going to everywhere you can imagine in former Biafra land, including Idoma and the Gala, we include them in one family. But their stupidity won't let them, will it? No, it won't. We continue. Olusola Saraki corrects Buhari, says asset declaration cannot stop corruption. Did they start declaring assets today? Your wife is there. Your second wife is there. Your third wife is there. Your fourth wife is there. As Buhari is. Buhari, assets you're going to declare, is it for the first wife, second wife, third wife, or fourth wife? Just tell us, please. You believe in deceiving yourself. That is why sometimes I am beside myself with rage. I am boiling over with anger. I don't understand how to educate and enlighten our people so they understand it. You're coming to declare asset. Oh, I only have one private jet. What stops you from buying another private jet in your brother's name? Send it to South Africa, or put your money in Namibia, or in Ghana, or in Cote d'Ivoire, or in Togo, or in Benin Republic. Nothing is stopping you. And who is the forensic scientist that will investigate? Nobody. Because there is quite palpable absence of good people. Perceptible absence of good people. You can't see them. Because black people are made up of evil. I tell you that. Baboons and monkeys living abroad remitted 21 billion in 2014. These are the people that sustains the zoo economy. Not those. If everybody, people living abroad, you don't know how powerful you are. 21 billion you sent into the zoo last year. All of you have the right to determine whatever political outcome you wish to see come to pass. If your family won't do as you say, you tell them quite simply, I will no longer send money to you. And that will be the end of it. But are you capable of understanding that? I doubt it very much. I do doubt it very much. 7 zoo states with the worst debt profile. They are owing money. Even states go to borrow money as well. Very sad indeed. Boko Haram have now killed 12 in Borno. They have opened their chapter once again. As I told Buhari, it doesn't matter if you win. Boko Haram will keep killing. You created a monster that have now outgrown you. Russia could not defeat the Mujahideen. America could not defeat Taliban. Now, the combined force of every Middle Eastern government could not defeat ISIS. What makes you think you can defeat Boko Haram? These are the things you need to know. We'll continue. David West is now advising Okonjo Iweala. Don't give Buhari any advice. David West is the confused man. Is another man from Niger Delta. Another Awasa Fulani slave who sees everything good in Awasa Fulani. You know slaves, you know the way slaves behave, house niggers, how they behave in America. That is exactly what this man is. He's serving Buhari. Damn David West. Very sad indeed. Very sad indeed. Now the news in greater detail before we open our lines, because our lines will open and I will give you the telephone number to call later on as we proceed this very fine evening. The evening of the 18th day of April 2015, and the time now is exactly 8 p.m. in the evening. That tells you that we are live and direct. Uchenna Mugo is saying that Biafran politicians are scavengers. Of course, they are lower than scavengers. They are lower than that. They can't come to talk to us. Are they mad? Who are you to talk to us? Do you know who we are? Do you know who we are? We are the people that made Microsoft to recognize the word Biafra. Recognize it as what is called a noun, in fact a proper noun. So that if you go now to your Microsoft, if you're connected online, you're live, I want you to open Microsoft and type in Biafra with a small b. It will correct it to a capital B immediately to tell you that Biafra is indeed a country. Try it. You know, we don't want to tell you what we've achieved until the time comes. Do you know who got America to ban Boko Haram? Do you know it is IPOB that made it possible? The voice of our late Professor Denibo and the foresightedness of our CEO, Engineer Rania. We wrote to every American senator and put in it Udenibo's voice. Do you know what happened? American senators started to call Obama's office asking them to get that they want to review the file on their policy on Boko Haram. A White House assistant ran out and said, we have now banned Boko Haram. Do you know who we are? Do you know that on the 30th of May last year, we came out all over the world. The world knew that indeed there are people called Biafrans. Are you aware of that? I'm not sure you are. We do things in the silence, but we are deadly effective. You don't know who we are. We are the very first people to compel our people all over the world to purchase a transmitter which will go live very soon. Nearly 100,000 pounds. Do you know that people that never knew who we were before gave us money on trust and we delivered? Now that transmitter is in Biafra land. Are you aware of that? Have you done that before? The only person who did that before us was Mbakwe, the great man himself. Sam Mbakwe. We did the same thing. We have not failed. Do you know that today, every morning and every evening all over the world, people are listening to Radio Biafra? They are hearing Biafra on a daily basis and not just on the pages of newspaper. Oh, we want to create awareness, you know. What awareness is bigger than media? Do you know we are the only people to pull our people together? Without Radio Biafra, all the Niger Delta militants talking about how their ancestry is Igbo wouldn't be doing so. Are you aware of that? We are very big. I don't want us to blow our own trumpet, but we are huge. And we are going to be bigger next week. Because thanks to a form, our logo is out for our newspaper. So we are running a newspaper next week, unfailingly. Enugu is back on this night. Everywhere is vibrating. And the TV is coming. The propagation of our signal is continuing. I'm telling you the truth. All of them that have been hiding under the cloak of lies, deceiving you for very many years, not true. We have the technology. We have relay stations everywhere. I don't have to be there. We don't have to be there. But once we are speaking, people are listening on their radios. We are not in the station in Onitsha. We are not there. The one in Aba, the one in Owerri, the one in Olo, the one in Enugu, and there is also one in Umunede. We are not there, but it's talking. Is there any, stuff like, some people are going to, can you give us money, please? We want to pay 1 FM like that to see if we can. Do you know that Radio Biafra is the largest FM broadcaster in Biafra land? You don't understand what I'm saying. What is the maximum range of any FM station in Biafra land? Measure it and tell us. And then I can tell you, right now, this very place from Abo, I'm telling you, from Abo all the way to Enugu, that is CHK 7.6. Oh God, they don't know, do they? We are huge, and very soon you'll understand our impact. Our job is to radicalize, to educate, to inform. We are people that listen to us are being radicalized to an extent that you cannot begin to imagine. All we have to say is to click our fingers and to say go, and they march, and that they will understand. But before then, they will do that. It's the work of the devil to deceive you, to try to sidetrack you. Remember when Yeshua left the wilderness after 40 days and 40 nights of fasting and prayer, before he commenced his gospel, his ministry, the first thing he encountered was Satan. The first thing that came was Ekwensu in the form of a serpent to say, oh, you are very hungry. Why don't you convert these stones into bread? Satan, so that Yeshua will abandon his mission and begin to talk to the devil. Even in the Garden of Eden, did the devil not come to ask Eve to partake of the forbidden fruit? They call it the original sin. Amazing stuff. This is Radio Biafra. If you're listening to us, you're blessed. I'm telling you, you are privileged. Because what we preach here is the gospel of truth and restoration. Some of you don't know the meaning of the word restoration. I ask you to go and please don't Google it, go to a dictionary. Be it a tad more old-fashioned. Go to your dictionary and you'll find the meaning of it. It's there, it's in there, somewhere. Restoration, that's what we're doing. Our news now in greater detail. The mayhem, the mess, the chaos, the killing in South Africa is continuing unabated. Black people chasing black people in South Africa, very sad indeed. South African police are today reporting that they have detained more than 30 people as a wave of violence continues to sweep across South Africa, targeting African migrants and others, especially in Johannesburg. There is a violence that erupted in the country's eastern port city of Durban several weeks ago have so far left at least 6 people dead and displaced thousands. Overnight, small groups attacked shops in several areas around Johannesburg, according to the police. More than 30 people were arrested last night. At this stage, the situation is calm, but we plan to increase our deployment, a police spokesman said. As I have said before, if you have a South African if you have a black South African near you, please remind that person of how stupid and backward they are, because they are not human. South African black, no wonder they were. Isn't it a coincidence that it's only in South Africa that apartheid existed? I have always believed that sometimes if you find yourself in a very poor, in a very terrible, horrible situation as black people, just maybe you should look inward and ask yourself, maybe the problem is from me. Is it a coincidence, I ask you, that the only place where they had apartheid, a system of government whereby you don't want to give the people their freedom, but at the same time you're holding on to them and segregating them, is only in South Africa? Maybe what we are seeing today was what white people saw in South Africans. Why they cage them like animals. Who knows? I'm only speculating. I hate evil. I can't stand it. That is why I hate Osu. Anybody that comes and says, oh, we are doing Osu here. This person is an Osu person. I don't like it. That is evil. Nobody is Osu. Nobody. Everybody was born by a woman. Pregnanted by a man. Unless you have divine insemination. A human being, a human being. You look at that person, you say this person is Zusu. This person is Zume. This person is this or that. And you want Chukwu Abiyama in heaven to love you when you're condemning his creation. Of course, it's not possible. And for your information, that's why one of the reasons why we lost the war. People don't look for the reason why we lost the war in things that readily comes to them. We lost the war because there was no way that Chukwu Abiyama was going to give you a Biafra where you go and discriminate against another person. It's not possible now. Biafra will not come. That is why when Biafra is restored, if you call somebody Osu, you will go to prison for 25 years. I will campaign for that personally. I will campaign for that. Nobody is Osu. Nobody is. And nobody can ever be. If you say so, you're not a child of heaven. I have researched our closest cousins, the Ethiopians and the Israelites. They don't have such rubbish. They don't have it. It's only yours. And who are the only ones today being governed by Awasa Fulani Boko Haram? It's only us. The reason why the zoo is prevailing over us till now is because of our wickedness. Biafran people, our wickedness. That is why we must continually seek the face of heaven for forgiveness. That Chukwu Abiyama may indeed forgive us. I'm telling you the truth. To call somebody else an outcast, you call that person an outcast, you have to be evil to do so. How would you feel if somebody were to call you outcast? How would you feel? I ask you. Evil is evil. We continue. They said the zoo spent 61 billion to free South. I don't know where they spent it. I have no idea. I don't know where. How the zoo spent 61 billion to free South Africa. People are now reporting it everywhere that a lot of money was spent to free South Africa. But look at what blacks are doing in South Africa today against fellow black people. I think there was this very rabid racist in South Africa called Eugene Terreblanche, I think he's called. Do you remember him? He was a white supremacist. And I think they were working with Mangosuthu Buthelezi, because I remember exactly, it reminds me of what they're getting Masop to do now. What Masop is doing has been done by Chief Buthelezi before in South Africa, of Inkatha Freedom Party. Before power was handed over to black people in South Africa, Mangosuthu Buthelezi, the same people today rioting, Zulu, they organized them to start rioting and killing ANC supporters. They killed ANC supporters and they kept saying to Mandela, allow us to revenge. Mandela said no. I know what they are trying to do. Exactly what Buhari is doing today with Owasrike. Some of you don't know this, do you? Exactly what Masop is doing today has been done before in South Africa, and are the ones instigating all the killings today. Go and read your history. Mangosuthu Buthelezi asked Zulu people to keep attacking ANC supporters so that there will be war between them and the white man will remain in power. These idiots you're seeing on the streets of South Africa today killing people. The same idiots. Zulu. Anyway, it happens. They were defeated by the British. They fought gallantly, but the British held that very fort and defeated the Zulus. And they became very good servants to white people. Zulu. Do you know that Jacob Zuma is a Zulu person? The current South African president is from Zulu clan or tribe or whatever it's called. Mandela is from Xhosa. And what is happening today? The same way, I tell you, that Mangosuthu Buthelezi was killing fellow black people in order for white people to continue to remain in power is exactly what they're doing today. It's exactly what Ifajuna of your time is doing today. Where IPOB are having their meeting, Wazirike is planning with his idiots to go and disrupt them. Because Awasa man gave him money to do so. But I want to tell Ifajuna Wazirike today that despite everything that Buthelezi did, majority of sensible black African people were liberated eventually. And today, those idiots that are running on the streets, the same Zulu people. Madness indeed. This is Radio Biafra. If you listen to us, you will learn things you never knew possible. If you're a university undergraduate and you're doing political science or economics, or in fact, any social science for that matter, let me put it, any discipline, if you're not listening to Radio Biafra, you will be even more daft than the day you went into university. What we are doing here is even designed for students who are still studying, so they can go back and teach their own lecturers, because their lecturers are basically as dumb as they are. Buhari has drawn the battle line with Southeast, South-South. He should be sent to the USA for lessons, according to a group called Intercity. This news broke a few days ago, but we must read it today. There is urgent need for the leadership of the APC to ferry and register its terrorist-elect, they call him President-elect, retired Major General Muhammadu Buhari, for intensive training at the National Democratic Institute based in Massachusetts Avenue in Washington, D.C., USA, or its equivalent elsewhere in overseas. This public call of ours is of utmost public importance following blunders inherent in Mr. Buhari's recent public comments following his presidential emergence in the highly divisive and ethnicized presidential poll. The president-elect's comments are also found to be highly ethnical, divisive, sectional, vindictive, undemocratic, and unfriendly to rule of law and due process. The totality of these is against the spirit and letters of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria, of course, 1999, which the president-elect will swear to uphold, abide by, and enforce at all times come 29th of May 2015. Apart from promising baboons and monkeys, heaven and earth, when sworn in, the terrorist-elect also completely lacks democratic pedigree needed to blend the country called Nigeria. For instance, it is incorrect to say that the president-elect is notoriously ignorant of the sanctity of the ballot box and the need to respect and uphold same at all time. Till date, the president-elect has not ceased in making provocative, divisive, and vindictive remarks against the electoral decisions of baboons and monkeys who call themselves Nigerians, who voted for political parties other than his APC, particularly the voters of the Southeast and the South-South. But what are your leaders doing? Instead of them to gang up together and say no, the same way they ganged up against Jonathan, they'll be going 1-1 to go and look for 1 teaspoon of crude oil. And in the process, they sell their conscience. I can't wait for Biafra to come. And Biafra will come. Watch and see what is going to happen. Everything we tell you comes to pass. Watch and see. Why I sabotage Jonathan, according to Babangida. The Niger State Governor Babangida Aliyu on Friday blamed the defeat of his party PDP in the presidential election and governorship elections in some states on President Goodluck Jonathan's refusal to honor a single-term pact allegedly reached by its leaders. The governor spoke in Mina in a convocation lecture at the Federal University of Technology where he was guest of honor. They are trying to justify to idiots, I would say, in Biafra land who still harbor the hope that somehow that can be called Nigerians. And don't worry. So are you going to vote out Buhari now for first time? Because Buhari will be there for 8 years. Nobody can do about it. Once you go in, you are there for 8 years. Only Jonathan was truncated because he failed to listen. Jonathan was very weak, a very weak man. All Jonathan had to do was to mention the magic word, Biafra. If you force me out of here, I will make sure that Biafra will come. That's what he needed to say. And they'll leave him there for 15 years. But it was too imbecilic. Russia will extend loan. No, I don't think it is necessary, to be honest with you. It is not necessary at all. We continue. Why petrol station attendants smile when scarcity buys? These fuel attendants prefer to sell to jerrycan carriers either on foot or in vehicles and charge extra money for their services. And they are making a kill as petrol scarcity lingers in Abuja and its environs, according to a newspaper investigation. Petrol attendants have become kings and queens of filling stations in and around the Federal Capital Territory. For them, their country, the capital of the zoo, called Nigeria. At petrol stations, vehicles drive in amidst unending queues, even more so as petrol tankers arrive, giving hope to customers that there will be fuel to sell for quite a while. So even when gates are shut to keep out the ever-increasing number of automobiles, many wait patiently in a long, orderly queue. But it is not as orderly as the ordinary eyes may see. A motorist says when an expensive-looking SUV throws caution to the wind and drives straight to the front of the Asman Oil and Gas in Kuje area, Council of Abuja, they get their petrol. Intimidation. Welcome to the zoo. There is so much wrong with the way that a black person reasons that I don't know how long it will take to educate them to understand, to come to their senses. Very sad indeed. The Nigerian Association of Nigerian Students have given an ultimatum to South African government. They are giving them 7 days to stop the xenophobic attacks on the baboons and monkeys of the zoo and other African residents in the country. The ultimatum is conveyed in a statement issued by the association and made available to news agents of the zoo in Abuja on Saturday. The statement signed by Nwankwo Ezekiel, their public relations officer, warned that South African investments and citizens in the zoo will face reprisal attacks if the xenophobic attacks on the monkeys and baboons from the zoo and their businesses were not stopped in South Africa. I don't know how you're going to do that. I do not know how you're going to do it. That word, Nigeria, it gives me a headache, honestly speaking. I hear the word Nigeria. This is what is your migraine. Migraine. I hate that name with a passion. A white man's creation. Something created by somebody else. And every baboon and monkey is jumping up and down. I'm a Nigerian. Nobody's asking themselves, but who made this Nigeria in the first place? He's a white man. Oh God. To be a black person is not easy, you know. Come to think of it, to be a black African is actually a punishment, isn't it? Because you have to battle so many things. More especially ignorance. You have to battle ignorance. My God, that is the most difficult part. You know, imagine a white boy growing up now maybe in Europe or in America, in South America, elsewhere in the world, maybe even an Asian person. They're growing up, they're facing life, they're trying to solve problems every day. But our own, you have to start with overcoming the stupidity of your own people. Because people are so foolish. So foolish is unbelievable. Oh God in heaven. We continue. 400 Syrian churches destroyed and Christianity nearing extinction in the Middle East, please. In the Middle East. According to the Patriarch. Oh God. Terrible. Around mid-July, Patriarch Kirill of Moscow and all Russia, who once wrote a letter to Barack Obama beseeching the president to reconsider his foreign policies which enabled the persecution of Christians in Syria, spoke again of the threat of Christians facing extinction in the Middle East during a meeting with Greek Defense Minister Paglotis Kamenos in Russia, Patriarch's own words. I regularly get, this man wrote to Obama. I have never seen this report before. Heaven is my witness. I have never. But the Russian Orthodox leader wrote to Obama, warning Obama, your foreign policy is encouraging Islam. You people are killing Christians. Obama kept quiet. Oh my goodness. What they have done to Assad. Oh my goodness. America is now from a defender of people to an active participant in the support of terrorism. USA. So you no longer know if America is supporting terrorists or not, or if they're fighting them. A whole USA. Nobody knows if America is fighting terrorism or actually supporting terrorism. The leading country in the world. My goodness. Terrible. According to the Patriarch, his name is Kirill. Patriarch Kirill of Moscow and all of Russia, of the Eastern Church. That is how you know people with pride. Everybody have their own church. They have the way that they worship Chukwu Abiyama in heaven. But our own is you wait for somebody to bring it to you. And they bring it to you. You didn't even amend it to suit your own ways. You say, okay, anyway, you bring it to us, we'll take. Go to Russia. What is there is the Russian Orthodox Church. In England is the Anglican Church. In Italy is the Roman Catholic Church. But you come here in Biafra land, it is Assemblies of God Church, Apostolic Church, Cherubim and Seraphim, Methodist Church. Oh my goodness me. Black people in this UG. God. This level of stupidity, sometimes I think I'm falling into the abyss. You're looking for somewhere to hold your hand to. I'm telling you. You better be a warrior. I regularly get reports of horrible crimes that are committed there against Christians, according to this patriarch of Russia, especially in northern Iraq. I have visited those places and I remember that there were many churches and monasteries there. The city of Mosul alone had 45 churches. Now there is not a single one. Mosul, every church destroyed. And Obama is laughing. Obama is satanic. Barack Obama. So what if it was George Bush or a white man now? What they will do is they will send in American ground troops on the ground and they will use heavy bombardment to halt any advance of Islamic State. But is Obama doing it? No. He threw about 4 bombs from the air and they went and sat down. And that's the end of it. Very sad indeed. Things are happening. Very, very terrible things are happening. Obulafor from Olokoro has now joined the APC. Igbo men, there is nobody that will not join. Everyone can check on Apota. Where can I get contract? My landlord at Abuja wants 4 years rent. How do I get money to pay? Former national chairman of the PDP. Nobody said he was a contestant with AMPP. Is national chairman of PDP, Prince Vincent Obulafor, yesterday in Abuja, held a closed-door meeting with the leadership of the APC. He, however, clarified that he is still in PDP, but refused to rule out the possibility of joining APC in the near future. The former PDP boss arrived in the APC National Secretariat at Wuse, is it Zone 12? God knows, is it 11? Wuse 11 in Abuja at 2:35 p.m. and held a 40-minute meeting with APC National Chairman Chief John Odiga Yegun. Neither him nor APC chairman disclosed the agenda of the meeting. Is this news? Cholera is busy killing people in Ebonyi. People are feeding off refuse bin. It's happening in our nation. It's happening in. If you go there, I was there a few days ago, you will see it for yourself. People are picking rubbish from rubbish bin and eating. And nobody is doing anything about it, and you're telling me about a meeting between 2 idiots. Does that make, what does it have for us? Let's continue. Igbo leaders a disgrace. Who wrote this? Let's just start from the beginning. I was told that every Igbo man who heard Ojukwu's speech after the Biafran War was filled with a renewed sense of pride and hope, a hope that one day the Igbo nation will rise and become a force of reckoning, not just in the zoo, but in the entire black world. No, Ojukwu fought and wrote about Biafra, not Igbo. Yoruba, stop twisting people's words, please. Ojukwu never said anything about Igbo. He said about Biafra. For your information, he was the head of state of Biafra and not a warlord. Some of you don't even know of the word warlord. I like to read from intelligent people, not from idiots. I cannot stand people who are ignorant. My tolerance threshold is not that very high when they come to fools who cannot reason properly. We went to war to fight like Biafra, for Biafra. We came back telling us the Igbo cause. Who told you we fought for Igbo cause? Who told you that? Igbo is a language, not a people. I dare anybody to come out and tell me that Igbo is a nation. I say I dare you to come out to prove it to me. I challenge you, because anything I say, I have my facts and my figures. When the white man came, they were more interested in languages than the people who actually occupy the place. For your information, Igbo is a language and not a people. Biafra is a people. But they don't want you to understand Biafra, because if you continue the same way we have done here, if you continue to dig very deep into Biafra, one day you will discover you're a child of God, and they don't want you to see that. That's why they said Igbos don't have history. I remember being told that's rubbish at the age of 9. I remember things very clearly. Oh, Igbo, why is it that Igbo is not being mentioned? Oh, you don't have a history? No. As Igbo, yes, no history. But as Biafra, you have history. And they don't want you to see that Biafra. Because if you keep digging, what is Biafra? Who am I? You one day wake up and realize you're the child of Chukwuabiama in heaven. Hence you answer Nwachukwu, child of God, son of God, to put it quite mildly. In the 3 years of the war, necessity gave birth to invention. During those 3 years of heroic bound, we left. This is according to Ojukwu. But they said what is happening these days, that Igbo leaders are a disgrace. Of course, I was telling you before, you didn't believe me. Go to today's newspaper, April 18. Punch newspaper is there. Go and type in on Google, Igbo leaders a disgrace. You see that. When I say this, oh, Onabariani is insulting our elders. But it is here now. People are acknowledging with facts and figures that Igbo leaders are a disgrace. It's here on the newspaper, in the zoo. No, nobody's insulting you. We're only reporting the way things are. That's what we do on Radio Biafra. Anybody I tell you is bad is bad. When I used to tell you about Igbo leaders being terrible, you never believe. In fact, I want this very news circulated everywhere. This Igbo leadership nonsense. I want it circulated everywhere. I want our admins on Facebook to make sure it goes. And the former, please take note as well. I want this thing circulated as widely as possible. This is what I'm talking about. People don't understand certain things. It is not just me. They said Igbo elders are Igbo leaders are a disgrace. Not me. I never said it. I never said it. I want that circulated. Well, I've put it on IPOB admin. I want it published so you can see it. Not from Radio Biafra. People of course, you have to listen to it. Everybody listens to Radio Biafra. So they listen and they publish it. You do your research. We say something here. I want you to go away and research it very well. After that, then you publish whatever you like. Igbo is a language and not a people, not a nation. I said so. Prove me wrong. I have my facts. Before you start writing any rubbish, I have facts and figures with maps to prove what I'm talking about. For your information, before you go to make a fool of yourself. I'm just warning you. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and I want that circulated extensively. Igbo leaders a disgrace, according to Yoruba newspaper. Saraki corrects Buhari, says asset declaration cannot stop. How can it stop you? Thieves and rogues, black people are criminals. Senator Bukola Saraki has stated that declaration of assets by politicians and public office holders would not make anyone less corrupt or accountable to the people. Saraki, who made this assertion in an interview session with a Yoruba paper, said, I don't think it is a declaration of assets that would make you less corrupt or more accountable, because it doesn't mean anything. You can declare, and in fact, if the more you declare that you don't have, the less inclined people are bound to believe in you. That is how daft they are. The World Bank has disclosed that baboons and monkeys received in the zoo called Nigeria, that is, received a total of $21 billion from the citizens living abroad as home remittance in 2014, saying the growth of remittance is expected to slow this very year. This fact is contained in the latest issue of the World Bank's Migration and Development Brief, released in Washington at the ongoing spring meeting of IMF World Bank Group. It said that officially recorded remittances to the developing world are expected to reach $440 billion. That is the amount you take away from Europe and from America to send to Africa and other developing parts of the world. And you're telling me that they're not kind. If you are basically doing mechanic work in South Africa and fellow blacks are killing you, can you tell me, I can't, I don't know, these people. At least they are kind. They take our oil, that is true. But people work abroad and bring money home. 440 billion. My goodness me. But of course, what they take away from Africa is trillions, mind you. Trillions. And that was why they killed Walter Rodney. I want you to, if I ask you to read a book, try to read it, please. There is a book called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa by Walter Rodney. He's from Jamaica, but he was at Dar es Salaam University in Tanzania. That was where CIA killed him. CIA assassinated him in cold blood. and said to African people, and what can you do about it? They came to Walter Rodney and they put 30 bullets in his head. He told you how Europe emasculated Africa. Complete destruction. In that process, before they got to our resources in Africa, they first of all gave us Abuama. They gave us Matthew chapter 8 verse 900. As we are busy in Akoerik and Diara, they are excavating our resources. If you ask them, but you're taking my oil, they will refer you to Acts of Apostles chapter 16 verse 9. Before you finish reading and reading, black people and ignorance. God in heaven. Hey, God in heaven. My dear God in heaven. Black people are useless, honestly. But is that not my mineral resources you're taking? They refer you immediately to the book of Revelation. As you're reading the book of Revelation, when you wake up in the morning, there is no more oil. Oil, like coal, gone. Cotton, gone. Everything, granite, everything, gone. And then you say, but before there was oil. Where is that your sheep that came? What did you come to take? He will now ask you to have a conference of churches. Get together. Let us praise Jesus. Hey. Everything happens for a reason. I'm telling you, everything happens for a reason. I don't regret anything, but it's a very painful and tortuous journey. Believe you me, trying to teach black people to reason like human beings, very, very difficult. I tell you, very, very difficult. But we must continue. We must continue. According to recent figures released by the Debt Management Office in Lagos. Lagos State has the worst external debt profile out of the zoo 36 states. Lagos State is owing foreign banks $1.087 billion. Need I say more? A country that produces oil, natural resource, not a country, Biafra land that is occupied, is giving them all the oil and gas in the world. They are still owing foreign banks. And you know the funniest thing, this money they're owing foreign banks is their own money, you know. Because a criminal black politician from Africa, from the zoo, especially, will go to the National Treasury and empty it. They will take that money, maybe $5 billion. They travel to Switzerland. They lodge it in a Swiss bank account. And then Lagos State will go there and say, we want to build a new footbridge at Onibombo. Can you please loan us money? They take the same money you brought to them and loan it back to you with interest. Hi. Do you understand what I'm saying? A criminal politician have gone and stolen money. He took the money to Switzerland or in any other bank in America, or Tinubu's money is in America or in Britain. You go to NatWest or HSBC Bank and say, HSBC, I'm a state governor from the zoo. I'm a monkey from the zoo and I control some people and I want some loan. I want to build a footbridge. Can you loan me money? They will go back to the same $5 billion you deposited the other day in your own private account and now loan you money officially. You now go and say, oh, Lagos State is now owing HSBC Bank $1.087 billion from your own money. So this bank will make money from, I don't know. Let's continue. Let us continue, please. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we're direct. The time now is approximately 23 minutes to 9 p.m. in the evening. The whole world is listening. We are live and we are direct. Boko Haram, the Buhari's people and his thugs, everybody needs a thug anyway. The people being sponsored by the terrorist-elect, the president-elect of the Zoological Republic, the unqualified, certificate-less Muhammadu Buhari, his boys have struck. They have killed 12 people in Borno. If you don't know before, we are telling you today, it was Muhammadu Buhari who funded Boko Haram. He was the one that used Boko Haram to terrorize Jonathan out of office. He is a local terrorist. Today he's the president, the only country in the world where a terrorist was actually elected a president. They said it takes a thief to catch a thief. So it to take a terrorist to stop terrorism. That's the thinking of Obama. and in that process spread Islam and Sharia. Jonathan was warned. Boko Haram militants serving Buhari have now slit the throat of 12 people in Goza town in Borno State as the army was trying to evacuate civilians from the area, a military source and a witness said on Friday. The militants have been driven out of much of the huge swathe of territory they controlled at the start of the year, thanks to a concerted push by troops from the zoo and neighboring Chad, Niger, and Cameroon. The town of Goza in mountainous terrain was one of the last places to fall on March 27th, and there remains pockets of Boko Haram activity in the area, security sources said. Pockets of Boko Haram, that pocket have now erupted and 2 people are dead. News management in the zoo, where there are lies and deceit every blessed place. A former Minister of Petroleum, Professor Dam David West, has replied the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Dr. Konji Wala, over her advice on how the incoming administration of General Muhammadu Buhari can increase revenue, saying the incoming president does not need her expertise. I have not heard Dam David West before be critical of an Awasa person, but they can be critical of them, their own selves. That is entirely up to them. We're not interested in the zoo. We don't want to know what happens in the zoo. We are only keen on the restoration of our country, which I'm sure the barrister concurs with and will give us the benefit of his views and his opinion concerning our news presentation this evening. Barrister, I wonder if you can hear me. The very eminent barrister, are you with me? If you are with me, please do so by confirming that you can hear me.
Absolutely, Director.
Please, you may proceed.
Director, thank you. Let me take issue with this term, David West. Now, this guy is adding weight to what the Yorubas are suggesting for Buhari, the terrorist. He is telling this lady, Buhari do not need your economic wisdom. That means Buhari should sack this woman invariably. That is what term or whatever David West is. This is how we betray our people, we betray ourselves. You know, we behave like snail, AG. When you put a snail inside a fire, it starts producing all the mucus, thinking that it will quench the fire, not knowing that the fire is drying those mucus in order to kill it and fry it dry. This is our people. Because the Yorubas have written what Yoruba man has spoke earlier, that our sister, if you like, Okonji Iweala and Dozian Madeke should be tried, more or less should be sacked. Now, Tam David West is saying the same thing, that Buhari do not need your expert knowledge. You take note, before long, that will happen. But we are here. We will remind our listeners, our people, that the zoo you live is a very wicked environment where nothing flourishes, where Hausa, Fulani, Boko Haram are ruling you. And that's the reason you can produce nothing. Nothing else can produce. Just milk the oil, sell it, sit down, wear the highest cap and hat, sit down there and enter into the biggest car or van or lorry you can ever see around you. No production. Nobody's got any cool-headedness to say, let's start producing something. Let's use the money from oil and put it into a transferable skill. They don't, because they do not know. It is the plan from the Western world to impoverish, keep us down, so that there will not be any challenge. If we produce car, let them depend on the cars we produce. We produce guns, let them depend. Even the foolish, stupid, idiotic Boko Haram who do not believe in Western education, but they are using guns. All the guns and bombs and shells, they cannot even produce the bullet itself. But they will tell you they are Boko Haram. Western education is rubbish. But the same Western education will produce all you are using. The boots you wear came from them, because you have no brains to produce or manufacture anything. And then The Biafrans who are supposed to do all these things that got the brains are marginalized, suppressed, and kept under wrap. And that's the suffrage we have. Let me take issue with the Christianity that is being hounded in Syria. Director, you see, blame the West for this atrocity. Why? You cannot go into a forest where gorillas are in operation. You plant a tiger or lion in there. There will not be any peace. You should have left the Muslims with their Islam. You brought church to divide a country that believes in Allah. And then you went to the UN, create a statement, free religion, free this, free that. Why are you freeing religion to somebody who believes that killing is the best way of his worshiping Allah? And then you carve out some of their people and then ask them to follow a Christian, when in reality their tradition is to follow Allah. You caused it. You go to Ukraine, that's supposed to be Islam. You put a few churches there and ask them to flourish. It will not flourish. You come to Biafra land, those who believe in Chukwu Abiyama. You plant a mosque there. It's not compatible. The West brought all this atrocious evil in our society. Jidenke, gime Jidenke, hold yours, let me hold mine. There's no need you coming to bring in what is not tradition, or if you like, what is not organic to my life. Then there is a divided opinion. Then what will happen? Argument, fight, killing. The West should have kept Jesus Christ and the Bible for themselves. And then we do our own. Now look at South Africa. They use the Bible to kill them in mass. And then you are trying to convince me that we live in one nation, we live in one country with divided opinions all around. The Yorubas used to worship their juju and all the rest of it. You brought Christianity into it, and then Islam jumped in. How can there be peace? The West did us a lot of disservice. And then when you come into their own country, they hardly go to church. Only few of them, when they know they are about to die, they will have hope in resurrection of a different generation or a different world. All these operations, all these politics in religion brought to us, it did not favor anybody. If he did, the Muslims should be killing themselves, not turning around and killing Christians. But why wouldn't they kill Christians? Because you brought Christianity that is alien into their own religion. Why causing confusion? Why creating all this mayhem? There is no peace in the world because there is a mixture of things. You come to my father's land where all of us believe that Chukwu Abiyama is the only creation. We don't see him. We just believe that he's there. And then you brought something else. Okay, I show you. This is what you should be worshiping. Some people will not agree. No, this is not what we do. The other one say, yes, this is what we do. Argument. Start eliminating those very close to you. This is what is happening in the world. All the way from Syria. They believe in Allah. They believe in Islam. Why planting church? Why bringing Christianity to them? Why? And now they are dying. And you're not even there to free them or save them. Can you see the confusion in the world, Director?
I can see that very clearly. I can see that very, very clearly.
And people are dying on a daily basis.
Of course.
Some of these Boko Haram are killing and may not even be Muslim. They are Christians. That's why they burn down every church there. Because it's alien to them. And surely you cannot blame them. Director, somebody cannot come in Afara Ibeku and put some kind of a native foreign god for you to worship. Your daddy will say no. But they have confuse and convince you that yes, this is your own God.
Of course.
Your daddy will say no, you say yes. Argument will start. Now the same dad that you respect like your own father, like your own heavenly God, there's enmity now. Remember what happened in Things Fall Apart?
Yes.
when they brought Christianity.
Yes, and one year said, because they said you will abandon your father and your mother and follow them. And most of us did.
Exactly, director. They confuse and change our tradition. Everywhere you go to Iraq, you will find Christianity. You go to Iran, Christianity. These are not part of them. Why going there to put church in the first place? And then you are blaming the Islamic nation. This is what we have said here many times on Radio Biafra. Let Boko Haram look for their Sharia. The only argument we have with Boko Haram is you are killing our people. You don't have to kill anybody to establish what you want. But unfortunately, this is their tradition, killing. As I said earlier, gorillas are somewhere in the mountains. You go and put lions and tiger. They'll be eating each other. I take issue with the Buhari, who is not sure if he's been elected in the first place. Until Jonathan said, yeah, go ahead. Now you are, my mom said, if a captured individual do not know that he's captured, when his people came to visit him, he will follow them home because he's not been told that he's captured. Buhari is not even sure if he has won election.
He's not sure. He's still campaigning.
No. He hasn't sunk in yet. This is an old man who is having some kind of dementia.
Of course he has dementia.
At the age of 71 or 72.
He is not 71 anything. Buhari
he's more than that.
Of course, Buhari is close to 90, not 71. Are you telling me that Shehu Shagari is older than Buhari by 20 years?
No.
Yeah, exactly. That tells you all in because Shagari is about 91 years old.
But he's in power.
Is it not
and that's why he's not even sure.
Is it not easy? Barrister, you can be a useless, mad person on, in a refuse bin somewhere picking up. As long as you have some few gray hair, you can be an elder statesman. As long as you can pay some newspapers to write about you.
That's
very sad indeed. Very sad indeed. Very sad. Thank you, Barrister. I presume that we are going to come back to you later on during this very live presentation from us here, that this is Radio Biafra. Thank you very much, Barrister. I wonder if you can hear me.
I'm hearing you, Director.
Thank you very much. But
it seems that you cut me short.
No, I thought you finished.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Barrister, how can I cut you short? Please, continue. No. You have the airwaves, Barrister. You tell me when you're done, and I'm listening attentively. Please go ahead.
Indeed. Thank you, Director. Yes, I was going to touch upon this Zuma issue with South Africans. Why are they giving him 7 days? 7 days means more people will die. I do not understand why. Anyway, remember where he's coming from. Somebody was telling me, are you sure it's not Boko Haram in South Africa killing Biafrans?
Boko Haram in South Africa.
Yes.
Anything is possible. With Obama in power in America, anything is possible, Barrister.
They went to Chad. They went to Cameroon. They're even in Sierra Leone. So they can go anywhere and start killing our people. A South African lady says all Nigerians should go their homes because there is no job in this place. Her children are not eating because foreigners have taken their jobs. I couldn't stop looking at this ugly old woman. During the time of apartheid, were you able to talk? Now you have your freedom. You can now remember that your children are not feeding. And who are taking all these attacks? Biafrans. But they are called Nigerians. As I said earlier, I've told Zuma, remember, all blacks, when I say all blacks, Africans, black Africans, helped you to free yourself. But what is amazing is this. Why is it that Zuma is not saying anything, Director? Why is he not going on air to say, stop all these things?
He is a Zulu man. These are the same people that we have trying to kill fellow black South Africans so that white rule will continue. If you remember Mangosuthu Buthelezi.
Of course, he lives in KwaZulu Natal.
Yes, no. It's in their nature, it's in their blood. Because white people defeated them and converted them into the head slave. So they thought they are something special. If you are angry with anybody, you just go out and kill people. Blacks, they don't kill whites. It's only blacks they kill.
What a shame. Anyway, we watch and see what happens in the next couple of days whether he will rely on 7 days while our people are perished, because he'll come back to him eventually. The Yorubas writing about the Igbos, when they see the right channel, they prefer going to the wrong channel. Instead of saying Biafra, they will sectionalize. The Yorubas are very seditious, segregative, and also very slimy in nature. And you know what? They will subdue our people and put them straight into submission through the churches they bring into our land. What a shame. Ojukwu is not a warlord. Ojukwu was the head of Biafran struggle, if I put it that way. Ojukwu is gone, and we are carrying on from where he stopped. Look at what is happening in the world, Director. This is why it is imminent, if you like, it is pertinent for Biafra to be restored. Our people are hated every corner. Malaysia, China, now even in the zoo they deport our people. Now in South Africa. Is it here when you go to Western world, instead of killing them, they lock them up just for nothing's sake, because they have no visa. But when these people were coming into our countries, going to every African countries, were they using any visa? I believe in rationality of common sense. You created the law to victimize others. But when you look at yourself, you are no different from the person you are victimizing. Is it not the same thing where Jesus Christ says, anyone who has not done what this woman did should be the first to cast stone? They destroyed every individual countries. Now they run back to your own and created laws. If you step away, you are in jail. You are criminalized. How fair is this world? Should we carry on living like this? This is why Biafra must come. Biafrans, we are fake. Black people are fake. Only those who recognizes the importance of mankind and human beings. For all I know, I tweeted the Ethiopian Prime Minister today when he was saying that everybody that wants to go into any country should be allowed to go in, as far as they did not commit no crime. And I was reminding him that Biafra is the only country on earth that recognizes the importance of migration and immigrants.
Of course, which is our name.
Because those who came to the director is Biafra, the only country.
It's the only one in the world. There's no other place. Our name means immigration, basically. Come and join. That's what it means. Come and join.
I have never heard that in Biafra land, somebody came to your land. You said, this is your time, you have to go. Never heard of it.
Do you know, that never happens, you know? You can never tell your visitor it's time now for you to leave. You can never do, you're not allowed to do that.
Never.
Instead, you ask them, oh, do you want me to put out water for you to have a bath? Or
exactly. Make life comfortable.
That is true. You're actually right. You're correct.
Director, we've been maltreated. We've been given bullshits all over the world. And this we have never even contemplated that it can ever happen to us. Because the Bible says, blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Why are we suffering then? The world destroyed. They don't ask, the Western world, do they ask themselves at all, why are we having influx of immigrants? The reason being that you've gone to their countries, destroyed it, stole them dry. What do you want them to do? They have to come to where their properties are. They have to come to where their all their wealth are. Now, when they are stepping in, you stop them halfway. And those who are already crossed, you want to investigate and send them back. This is not right. And the UN, bunch of foolish, stupid human beings, dropped all these laws against black people. And our black people don't recognize. Look at what South Africa is doing. Now, how can you stand up and say blacks are good? Look at it. Director, I think I can now break myself.
And you have done exceedingly well. Thank you very much. The very eminent barrister, with the time now starting at 2 minutes to 9 p.m. here. On this very day, we welcome each and every one of you. We are live and we are direct And now our lines are open. You are at liberty to call us. We are on Skype also. And that bit is also raging as well. For principal officers, you can call us on Facebook only. My Facebook only. Call if you have Messenger, and we will be able to take your call. We are live and we are direct, and heaven is watching over our proceedings this day. And our Viber is also on should you wish to avail yourself of that very channel to speak, and humanity will be able to hear. This is Radio Biafra, and I must once again reiterate the contact number and thank those of you who are seeking to offer help and support. We'll get back to all of you one after the other. We want to propagate. The only thing we have against our enemies is the truth. And very soon, please, we must make sure we do all we can within our capacity to ensure that every part of Biafra land is participating and partaking in what we are doing. The number once again remains 081-738-13596. I repeat, 081-738-13596. We are live and we are direct, and Chuku Abiyama is with us all the way through, without fail, without fear, without hesitation, without prevarication, without retreating, and without surrendering 1 inch. Our lines are now open. You are at liberty to call us, please. You are at liberty to call Radio Biafra. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, please. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Azoma Chikwendo. I'm calling from Aba.
Please turn your radio down or walk away from where you are because it's interfering. I don't want to hear my voice on the radio. Please walk away from where you are and speak to us.
Hello. My name is Azoma.
That's what we're saying. They don't want to listen, do they? The caller on Skype, can you hear me?
Very much. I appreciate.
Hello? The caller on Skype.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Thank you very much.
Director.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Your name,
I can
please.
hear you very well.
Your name and where you are, please.
My name is Solomon Uchenna Ugu. I'm calling from United Kingdom, Manchester.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
I want to thank you. I and my family have been following you for a long time. And to be honest with you, we are not listening to any other thing in the house. But Radio Biafra. Even though my wife is from Urobo. It's
very
from
good.
Delta. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. She's a Biafran. You say your wife is your fellow Biafran. You don't say she's from Urobo. Is Urobo different from Biafra? Urobo is Biafra land, of course.
To tell you, for people that are asking where is the order of our brother cousins from Urobo, from Bayelsa, if they are not calling. In fact, I don't know how to tell you, but she's so much excited. Even she's telling me that if they start the revolution, she will go home to go and fight. But I'm telling you, to be honest with you, she's more than excited about the Biafra because we have suffered so much from the hand of those people called Northerners. They have persuaded us a lot. They have humiliated us. In fact, to be honest with you, when the election was going on, that was either the day of the election, or no, 2 days before the election was when I started following the Radio Biafra on the line. I said, wow, had even I'm in Nigeria, I don't think that I will know anything like Radio Biafra exists. Then that day I was listening to you, I said, why is this my brother is discouraging people not to go and vote? Because to be honest with you, I love Jonathan so much, but I'm angry with him for some certain decisions he always take anyway. So I was asking my wife, why is this guy telling people not to go and vote? Does he really want Northerners to go back to power again, that we will suffer? But when the election was going on, I was watching it, following it online, studying it, trying to get the latest result. But at the end of it, this guy won. This old foolish man called Buhari. To be honest with you, for 2 days, I couldn't take my bath. Even to eat was a very big problem for me in the house. It was after I keep on following you and listening to you, I say, oh, thank God. You gave me hope to know that we are going out from these people. Because after Buhari won the election, I believe that our own is finished. As a Christian and as a Biafran. I say, my God. Then I keep on monitoring you. Like I was reading one news online. They say, look at the body language. when Wole Soyinka was talking about Jonathan, as his body language, Jonathan really wants to hand over the power. Then I now told my wife, we were talking, I said, with your body language and the way you are talking, I think you sound more than genuine, and you know what you are doing. That through you we get Biafran. Because I can see you are not a tricked person and you are honest person anyway. I keep on, because when things happen, I reason so many things to get the truth out of it. I have keep on monitoring you, listening to you, following you to see. I say, yes, I believe you know what you are doing, and through you, I'm 100% sure we must get Biafran. So one thing I want to say, my brother, is thank you very much. I appreciate your effort. Before I continue, I also want to ask you, lest I forget, do we have any coordinator in Manchester?
Of course, Manchester is very, very strong. Extremely strong.
Yeah, before I continue, can you give me the contact number, please?
I can give you the contact number of, if you hold on a second, I can give you the contact number of our UK. We have, just hold on a second, let me try and see if I can extract the number, and I'll give it to you, because
Okay.
UK is very, very strong. I don't think any idiot will try to interfere with them. In fact, we even welcome it anyway. It worked before. I don't know that some people can come out and say that somehow they had a hand in convincing some people not to do what they are supposed to do, but all the same, it doesn't really matter. It does not matter at all. Please bear with me. Let me see. I have a contact number to give to you from Manchester. The number is, I don't know if it's a coordinator, that 078. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. 078, yeah.
240
240
212
212
38.
38.
Contact that number. They will tell you what they're having a family meeting in Manchester. Join them, participate, help out in what we are doing, and Chukwu Abiyama will always bless you and your family.
All right, I will do so. So, Director, my brother, there's one other thing I want to say.
Say it.
But whenever I want to suggest something, I find out that though I have been trying to get hold of you, I will find out that maybe another people have also suggested such a thing like you, for we to make sure we reach to other of our brothers from other of our cousins' brother from the Biafran, which is from the Bayelsa, Urobo, all those people. I believe the way you are sounding, you know what you are doing. For you to always have meeting with them, if possible, every day, every week, try to get hold of them for these people, for we to know what we need to go out from these people. I'm telling you, my daughter is 6 years. She will be 7 by October. My son is just 3 years this last March. And my last daughter is just 10 months. But I'm telling them, I'm educating them now, you are not a Nigerian, you are Biafran. My daughter I was talking to my daughter last week or this week. I said, if anybody asks you where are you originally from, you are no longer a Nigerian, you are Biafra. I say, Nigeria is zoo. He said, Nigeria zoo. He said that, I say, yes, there's nothing like Nigeria. So even if you ask my children now, where are you from? He said, I'm from Biafra.
Of course,
so
that's
even I'm not from Nigeria. I told in fact, from the day Jonathan lost the election, I told my wife that I'm stateless, that I'm no longer, I don't even know where I belong to. But when I keep on listening to you, I say, now I can know where I will call my own country, that I'm from Biafra and no longer in Nigeria. Even when I'm talking to I say, I'm not in Nigeria. I may say Biafra. Where's Biafra from? I say, please, can you Google it and search and know there is a country called Biafra, not in Nigeria. So, my brother, please, I appreciate your work, and I will also advise, try to get hold of other of our brothers. And I have a suggestion. If at all we can hold meeting, Coach, I'm from, you have not asked me where I'm from. I'm from Amage. Can you hear me, Director?
I'm hearing you. Go ahead, yes.
Yeah, I'm from Amage. Okanano. Gariki. We eat Gariki, yeah. I'm from Amage, Okanano. I used to tell my wife, possible, let's have a meeting. Call Kenneth in Naman. Jim them. All those or carry them, all those people. When we have the meeting, we take them look at our plan. If they don't back us up, they kill all of them. Because the enemy of Biafra.
They will tell you they will tell you they will back you up, but they are evil men. If any day you meet with them, you have failed. If you any day you meet with them, you have failed.
And waste them all, and waste them. Because they're the problem we're having. They are the problem we're having. We call them and make sure we kill them, because my wife used to say that whenever we call you, she advised you to meet with Wazirike them, or what is it called? I told my wife that If you keep on having meeting with these people, actually, they will even try to kill you or poison you. That you don't need the assistance of all those people. Because she was suggesting that all of you should put head together to bring Biafra. I say no. All what we need is like Wazirike to kill them. Because they're the problem we're having. We need to execute them. We need to kill them for we to have our freedom.
When the time comes, we'll know what to do to them. As we said, we don't work with such people. We can never work with them, not now, not tomorrow, not ever. My dear brother, I thank you very much for your call and I welcome it. Having given you the number to contact in Manchester, try and do so. Join the family meeting there and begin to participate very actively. We are live and we are direct. And Chukwu Abiyama is presiding over our proceedings this very evening, as always. I have a caller also on the phone. Can you hear me? The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes. Good evening, Director.
Good evening. Your name and where you are, please.
My name is Inspirational. I'm calling from Enugu.
From Enugu, thank you. I understand Enugu is back now. Is that correct?
What do you say, sir?
Enugu is back. CHK in Enugu is working. Is
yes. I even wanted to complain that we have been off the air for some time now.
Okay. We have been, but we have fixed it. Now. We hope that now John Moore and Enyanso will leave it alone. There is an evil spirit somewhere in Enugu disturbing our station. I hope we have cured it today. Please go ahead.
Okay. Please, I want to, I'm appreciating your courage. The courage you have, you people who are managing that present Biafra. In short, since you went off the air, I've not really listened to any radio or any newspaper. Because all they are telling us are lies. We don't get anything correct. Please, Director, I want you to please continue to educate our people. Because one thing that made me to have a very big interest on your program is that you say that for you to get anything from God, you must be truthful. And because you said something about truthful, our people are not truthful. Our people are deceived. Our people are liars. Most of us are liars. We do our businesses with lies. We do everything with lies. And that is a very big problem. As I'm speaking to you, many of us don't listen to your program in Radio Biafra. Many of them don't even care to listen. So please, Direct, please continue to educate our people because they don't know. Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear, and our education continues. We are not intending to stop and can never ever stop. Yes, go ahead.
Please continue. Because our people are liars. They don't like it. And so it's the only thing that they understand the power of truth, that they will know what they are doing. If you are off the air, I don't listen to any news. Because there's nothing to listen about. There's nothing to talk about. So I thank you. I appreciate your effort, and I say you carry it on. Thank you, my director.
Thank you, my dear brother. Enugu is back and working. And those of you in Enugu, if you know what you did, please go back to that very place and make sure that you find peace with Chukwu Abiyama, so that our station will stop wobbling, please. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we're direct. And we are coming to you this very fine evening with the time now standing at 12 minutes past 9 p.m. in the evening. We are taking your calls. Enugu is announcing a meeting. Enugu people are listening, so they have a meeting and they coordinate. The meeting is on Sunday, this coming Sunday, the 19th of April, 2015. By 3 p.m., the coordinator's number is 07038772406. I repeat, 07038772406. Our coordinators are very tough. They know how to handle themselves. Call that number if you're in Enugu. I don't want somebody else to call me, having listener asking me to give them the number for Enugu. I've given it to you. 07038772406 for Enugu family meeting coming up on Sunday. This is Radio Biafra. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? The caller on the phone, can you hear me? No. not paying attention or the network has a problem. We are live. We are on Skype, Radio Biafra. We are on Viber +44 783130836. We are also on WhatsApp. If you call us, we will be able to. Not on WhatsApp. We don't have calls on WhatsApp, do we? No, we don't. I said if you call us on Facebook, we'll take your call as well. Only if you are a principal officer of state and my friend, of course. If not, you cannot get through. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes, good evening, Director.
Good evening, please. Your name and where you are.
Yeah, my name is David Njoko. I am calling from Iguacha, Biafra land.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Director. Yeah, may I use this opportunity to thank you for all you are doing for us. That man of Adrike is an agent of darkness. I thank you for the radio station in 2009. I was one of those who was delivered from that man's works of darkness. But I thank God today that I have seen the light. And I know that the FM station is doing more work for us. And I believe by the time the television, the press, as you promised, comes off with our news, and then the air, that man will be destroyed totally. And I also encourage that you put a close watch on him so that he will not succeed with his plan. And I also use this medium to announce our meeting in Iguacha coming up tomorrow, 19th of April, by 4 p.m. All those who are within Iguacha that want to be part of this family, we are please inviting you to join us tomorrow. And the number to call is 081 05 95 36 20. I repeat, 081 05 95 66 20. Therefore, may God bless you and all those that are fighting for Biafra and our freedom. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much. Iguacha is also very strong. By Iguacha, we mean Port Harcourt. Some of you may not know this, but that is the proper name. It is Iguacha and not Port Harcourt, please. Harcourt is the name of the Secretary of State of Great Britain when Frederick Lugard and the prostitute wife was in the zoo. In order to impress Mr. Harcourt, the then Secretary of State, to give him more lucrative postings, he named Iguacha after his man. Our people are in the COG. Useless, honestly speaking. So why don't they go to Liverpool and name it Port Okereke? or Odo 1 million Okereke, which is what a port is. Odo 1 million Okereke. Let's see what they will do to us. But what man? Can we call you Port Harcourt? Port Harcourt. Is that your name? We are live and we are direct. Please, if you're calling Radio Biafra, endeavor to give us your name and where you're calling from. That is all that we demand from you. Then you proceed to say what you have to say. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? The caller on the phone, hello? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Not serious, are they? I don't like people that waste time. It's not needed. The caller on Skype, can you hear me? The caller on Skype, can you hear me? Anyway, we'll continue. The caller on Viber, can you hear me? Not very clear, I'm afraid. Let us try once again the telephone line. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, please. Your name and where you are?
Hello, I'm Chukwebuka.
And where are you calling from?
From Paul.
Well, can you move away from where you are? There are children there and there is so much noise coming through. When you move away from where you are, you can call us. The world is listening. We want to maintain our professional facade. We cannot be taking your calls when there are background noise, please. If you call Radio Biafra, endeavor to ensure that where you are is quiet. If not, we will not take your call. It's as simple as that. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? Not paying attention as we expect them not to. Anyway, they're not paying attention. They are not paying attention. I don't know what is wrong with them. People don't pay attention anymore to simple instruction And how can I commit such people to battle? That is what concerns me, that we are not disciplined enough to listen to simple instruction. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yeah, this is Ewithsubuiz here.
And where are you calling from?
From IPOB.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Okay, Director.
Thank you.
So I'm next off my. Oh, we've been there now, but so the radio idea bar na bala. So I'm going to say we the FM bar na ida bala. In a bala we be all the strong enough. So I want to use you make the tea never.
Abala, all the way to Kotek Mene will be covered before next week, Thursday.
Yes.
It will be covered before next week, Thursday. All of those places will be covered. We are upgrading our relay station in Aba to a more powerful specification. All of those places will be covered. By next week, Thursday, things will no longer be the same. People will see what will happen.
So the thing.
Okay?
So the thing
is coming to that very place on Thursday of next week. Things will change.
Okay,
By Thursday of next week, things will change.
Okay.
That I can assure you. Thank you very much. Thank you. People want it, and they are going to get it. If you call Radio Biafra, I don't care where you are, speak to me through Skype. Don't listen to your radio and then you want to respond. No. I will cut you off. The caller on... Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear the letter.
Thank you. What is your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Solomon by name. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Solomon, what is your father's name?
My father's name is Shady Adewado.
Thank you very much. That is better. Please go ahead.
Yeah, let you talk to my dad, please. Talk to my dad.
Okay.
Director.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. How Biafra day now?
We are very well, thank you, sir. We are very well, thank you.
Okay, hear you. Go well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
No problem.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
God bless you.
He say, and bless you too. And bless you too. I am grateful. I should have asked him if he's a veteran. I didn't ask him that. I didn't ask him. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes, Director, can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening. Please, your name and where you are.
This is Chikeze Madabuko calling.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Yeah, Director, this evening, I simply want to ship in one information. It's just about Owazirike. You know, as we are jointly propagating the gospel, I came across some of my sub members, and this guy was telling me that Owazirike is too much, that he packed fleet of cars in his compound with all the mansions he built. And I told the guy, how are you stupid enough? A freedom fighter packing many cars in his compound. Not only that, he has built a house. If you are too foolish or if his charms has gotten you down, how can you think that somebody who has such a thing will be fighting for his freedom of his people? That he has ruled himself with, if I can say, wealth, confusion, and worldly things. And there's no way he can go too far. And you people are still animalistic in nature, following him. Can't you see the handwriting on the wall? So, I don't know, somebody called maybe 3 weeks ago and said that Owazirike is a mystic man or a ritualist who normally sacrifice lamb or whatever. So when I had such story with my brother, and that guy, I told him, please, you are still under bondage. Try to open your eyes and see very well. So let me, if you said, a freedom fighter. So I don't see the reasons for people following this man, or some people, because a lot of them have come back. Then now, since I have been listening to Radio Biafra up to date, I have not seen somebody who called and speak good of Owazirike, and somebody who called and even tried to defend him. No, they know that he is totally evil. That one apart. Then I am coming. I know that in Biafran land, we have a lot of gifts. I know that during the war, Then in Oka, I know somebody called now that in Nambala, they're not hearing the radio Biafra. In Nambala also, Biafra people now. And it was the guy, not because of the intimidation, because of the, if I can say, racist, because inside this country called the zoo called Nigeria, the Northerners and the Yorubas are racist against we Biafrans. We're supposed to have industry producing ammunition 100%. That we don't even need. In fact, when Biafra comes, I don't think there will be a nation that will come to stand Biafra. Because I believe that we will manufacture all those things ourselves. Look at how people who have the breath to do all these things, how they were sidelined for many years ago. This zoo must tear into pieces this year in the name of Chukwadiama. Let us be free and get our future 100% bright. Thank you very much, Director.
Thank you very much.
May Chukwadiama every day be with you, that you can never have any difficulty within your life. And Biafra must come as a nation this year. Thank you, Director.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you, my dear brother. And sometimes people don't reason very well. The reason why I am preoccupied all the time with reason, which is called Akonuche. People must be able to reason. The reason why some people in Abuja don't want to come back home or accept Biafra is because of their properties in Abuja. Some don't want to leave, the heart of darkness, which is Lagos, because of their properties there. The same thing applies to Wazirike. He wouldn't want Biafra to come because of the properties accumulated. Very simple. But you cannot say it, can you? You can't. If he was enjoying his property alone, it goes to the Nushi, it won't bother me. But it's because he meddles anywhere he sees people going to get Biafra in truth and honesty. Nigeria will pay him money to go and scatter those things that they're doing. Ask him to get Biafra, allow people to go and get Biafra, he will say no. That's the problem he has. And we are doing things the way we want to. I want to see him. You will see. And then you know that we are serious. You will hear about him. You will see what the truth is about to do to him. Our newspaper must come out next week. This evening, we finalize on the logo and the banner. Next week, our press is rolling. In no distant time, having concluded our plans, our TV station will be live. Then we will show you all those things that he has made. All his houses, you'll be seeing it on TV. I told him he's finished. He doesn't know. If he has any brain, he'll just pack his bags and run away. Because by the time we are done with him, my goodness me, he's in one almighty trouble, honestly. He's finished. We are educated and he's not. That's the difference. We are educated and refined and polished, but he's not. He is not qualified to call himself a lawyer. He says he's a lawyer. This is Radio Biafra, the caller on the phone. Can you hear me? I have a caller on the phone. Can you hear me? Thank you. Your name and where you are, please.
My name is King Chimnam, sir.
Thank you. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Onitsha.
Thank you very much. The world is listening. Please go ahead.
Director.
Yes, please.
There before yesterday, but first I need to thank you for all you have been doing.
Thank you.
It has been long I've been trying this line to call.
I know it can be very difficult.
Day before yesterday, you gave us an assignment. You asked us to Google who created the world.
Yes.
And also Nigeria.
Yes.
In the process of doing that, Director, I came in contact with an argument between Obasanjo and Akinjide or something like that, Richard Akinjide.
Yes, Akinjide, yes, that's correct.
Obasanjo was saying that God created Nigeria, and Chief Richard Akinjide proved him wrong by saying that what Britain do is a colossal fraud. Yes. That Obasanjo was wrong to say so. Director, I also come in contact of something where the former president of the zoo called Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida in Lagos at presentation of a book in honor of his foreign affairs minister, Bolaje Akinyemi. He made a statement, and I quote, he said, as Nigerians, we are aware of the great doubt that have been cast about 2014 portent for the continuing existence of our nation. I am aware that Nigeria have great umbrage at this prediction. He said, even Lord Lugard, who created and founded Nigeria, was not be. He said, who created Nigeria, what has been called Nigeria, give it a lifespan of 100 years. I regard it as a challenge to our intelligence to ensure that these portent and prophecies do not become self-fulfilling, unquote. Director, these zoo people are playing with our intelligence. I know right now that their spies are listening because they cannot afford to stay without listening to Radio Biafra. I therefore advise them to read the story of redemption of Israel from Egypt. God gave Israel a period of time to stay in Egypt, but when the time came, Egypt said no, and that no cost them their life and their economics in one day. Director, I must predict this, that the same thing that happened to Egypt in the Red Sea will repeat itself. For I am that I am, who has sent Nnamdi Kanu as God has made him God unto the Republic of the Zoo. This I know, because I know that this thing is divine arrangement. Director, if I'm not mistaken, I want to know. I made a research that Igbos are the children of God, the seventh son of Jacob. Am I right, sir?
Biafrans, not Igbos. Igbo is a language. Biafra is a people.
Okay,
you can say
Biafra.
Biafrans,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, Biafra, sir. I'm sorry. I went to research to know more about this God. When God was gone, Leah said something. He said, a troop cometh, and she called his name God. A troop cometh, and he said God. Now, when Jacob was about blessing his own children, he made statement about God also. He said, God, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Director, we were overcome many years ago, but this time around, I knew it is impossible for us to be overcome again. We shall overcome. Moses also came in a saying in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 20. He made a statement. He said, and of God, he said, blessed be he that enlarged God. He dwelleth as a lion, teareth the arm with a crown of head. He said, and he shall provide the first part for himself, because there in the portion of the lawgiver was he seated. And he came with the head of the people, and he executed the justice of the Lord, and his judgment with Biafra. Director,
amazing.
Biafra is divinely arranged,
of course,
to bring peace, to bring justice, and to bring judgment upon the face of the earth. I am not in doubt that you are divinely selected to carry out this course. Director, I'm not trying to praise you. I am a spiritual man, and I know when a spiritual man is talking. Director, whatever it takes for you to achieve this aim, I believe the Lord have made them possible for you. Do not complain, nor doubt on the provision of what you will need to achieve this particular aim. Director, the book of Psalm 89 verse 22 declared, he said that the enemy shall not exact upon you neither the sons of wickedness afflict you. He said, the enemy shall not exert upon you. Therefore, whosoever that have stand as an enemy in order to resist you or to resist this movement, I know that whatever happened to the people of Egypt when they want to stop Israel will repeat itself in their life. So fear not, for the Lord was with you, is with you. For he has loved you, you have been honorable in his sight. He will give men for thee and people for thy life if they don't want to back out. So do not be afraid. Director, I think I need to stop here. I greet all the people of Biafra all over the world. Many complaining that they have been marginalized all over the world. Cry no more. For the Lord have heard your cry, and he has sent a man in order to bring justice to everyone that have ever marginalized you. Cry no more, for Biafra is on the way. God bless you, Biafra. May the Chukwu Abiyama give you the strength, the courage, the wisdom to stand strong until we see the end of the struggle. God bless you, Director.
And may Chukwu Abiyama bless you too. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for that. And well spoken. When we push you, we are at the same time showing you we are to fall. I don't say what I don't know. I don't hallucinate because I don't take drugs. Anything we tell you is gospel. If you're in doubt as to who created the zoo, just Google it. Who created the world? Who created Nigeria? Who created United Kingdom? The answers are there for you to see. Can you hear me?
Good evening, Director.
Good evening. Your name, please, and where in Germany you're in. Go ahead.
My name is Obina Ozorima from Nnewi, live in Germany.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
My Director, what I want to say is like we, the youth that is growing now, born children, that we have to, when we are growing, we have to let our children know that they are not a Nigeria, they are a Biafra. By doing all those things, the children will know, yes, this is where they belongs to. Not when we are fighting for freedom, we say we are a Biafra, why our children are answering Nigerians. And again, most of our people that is in Europe, they have to try to let them know that they have to change their nationality. Not Nigerian, but Biafra. But many of us here, we are fighting that we are in Nigeria, we are Biafran, and still in our document, we are answering Nigeria. So I don't know why those things are happening. So that's why I want to say that so that my people will hear. And again, some people that claim that the Biafra, when we get Biafra, they will come out and say that yes, this is right. And now they are calling them to go and register. They refuse to register. Please, my brothers all over the nation, all over the world, the Igbos, even though you don't have enough to contribute, going there to register your name is more important. Go and register your name. It's very important to see, yeah, you are fighting for the freedom. They say, well, in Germany, Lindau, because where we have it is in Augsburg. It's very far away from us. So I send a message to Skype for you to pick up. And me, Obina Uzodima, I'm the director. So we are trying our best to pick up. So you can send me any information in WhatsApp, or in Skype.
Yes, I want you to.
Thank you, my director.
And you too. Thank you very much for that. I know we are experiencing some intermittency, some cutting out. This problem will stop happening to us. Our line is cutting. Our line is cutting, unfortunately. Our line is cutting. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and direct. Our line just cut. Please do bear with us. If it happens, just wait. We'll come back to you. Many people have been wounded in a bloody clash between Igbo traders at the popular Ladipo spare parts market located in Mushi in Lagos. The market formed a parallel executive and took over the leadership of the market. It has been gathered that many traders were wounded following the clash, in which guns, machetes, and axes were freely used before the police later brought the situation under control. In the ensuing crisis, the whole area was rowdy and some traders shut their shops and left the market to avoid being caught in the crossfire, given the fact that the cemetery workers were better prepared for the battle. That means Yoruba. They are calling them cemetery workers. Yorubas wanted to take over. This is the first time that we are preparing for anything in our life. because we don't prepare. You never prepare. That's why we're doing everything we're doing in advance. We prepare to win. We go to war and we're going to win. There is no better way to get your freedom than when the man who came into Owerri to bask in the euphoria and the glory. Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening, Director.
Good evening. Our network is rubbish down here, to be honest with you, but please go ahead.
Yeah, there's no problem. We understand the situation anyway. Thank you, Director. My name is Clifford Washuku Uswani. I'm calling from Gothenburg City, Sweden. And I just want to say thank you.
Where you are, there is a noise where you are. What is the problem? There is a noise, a shuffling noise where you are. What is it?
I'm sitting in my living room and there's no noise around me. All my kids.
Maybe it's from the network. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I understand. Well,
we used to do it then when we were in secondary, when we were in school. But now that those opportunities has gone, just like you have always been mentioning companies that have been closed down. I remember Standard Polytechnic, Omaya. And those companies that were there then when we were in secondary school, we used to go there to do casual works to get pocket money when school reopens. We can even buy our own school uniform without bothering our parents. That time I still remember. But now, I could not even remember that those companies has closed down. Not now that you are even mentioning it. They have disappeared. Please, my dear brethren, Biafrans, some of you that are always calling us mad people when we are talking about Biafra, I cry for you and cry for myself because when you talk against it, I look at you as somebody who, can you tell it is only a foolish man that you can tell to come inside his father's house. It is only a foolish man. You don't need me to tell you to come inside your own father's house. Please, my dear brethren, wherever you are, we are not joking. Please, let us make this thing a reality. And please, Director, can I suggest one thing? I always feel guilty and ashamed when, we are, some of us that are even in this pen, we are losing a lot. And now, I'm learning a lot. Number one, I'm learning history. I'm learning government. I'm learning even the white man's English because in Spain doesn't speak English. The little we know has gone with the language of this country we are. It has gone. At times when I want to write a letter, I don't even remember the spelling of is. At times I write is and I write si. I'm confused. I don't know even the real spelling of is again because here si is c, which is yes. But now you are reviving my past English, reviving my history, reviving my government, and reviving everything. Radio Biafra is reviving my entire life again. And I feel ashamed when I look at myself where I am. There is no IPOB. And before you ask me, I will tell you, I cannot do it because the type of the job I do and the area I move along. But please, I'm the one that called you before to suggest something. I'm trying to suggest it again now on air. Please, can we get in contact with any of these telecommunication carriers that you are using to make it somehow, to see how possible it will be, so that when somebody can through phone make some donations of maybe €1, something like that.
It is not possible. It is not because no, it is not possible because people have tried it before. MTN ate their money. It is allowed to eat their money. They don't pay. People give them. People do all these things. You phone a particular number, premium number.
Yeah.
You deal with them. They will not pay. They will take your money and eat it. You are talking about the zoo. This is a zoo. Everybody, including the Chief Justice. So everybody here is a rogue. The best thing to do is, and sometimes I don't even know if all the money we are giving to our coordinators are getting to us. Because we are growing every blessed day, but the money we receive is shrinking every blessed day. So I don't know. The coordinators and the continental reps, ask yourself these questions because I'll be taking more keen interest. People cannot be giving us funds and you're not remitting it to us. Remember, you are under oath. Not when something happens to you, you say your next door neighbor is holding you. I understand what you're saying, my dear brother. Please, if you have anything to do, make sure we have a telephone number. You are in Europe. We have a telephone number, or you go to www.radiobiafra.co. You will see donate button, click on it. You go to PayPal and you give us whatever you have on there. Simple as that. Or you go to PayPal and say to PayPal, I want to send money to, they will ask you for email address or telephone number. You say +4478 313 08376. I want to send money to this telephone number, and they will tell you what to do. Very easy. Very straightforward.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You.
That is PayPal.
Yeah,
very secure. Thank you very much, and thank you for your call. We are inching very close to the end of the program this very day. We have been live and direct. There was somebody who was on the line on Skype. I don't know if they're still there. The caller on Skype, can you hear me? No, they are no longer there. They are no longer there. Let's go to the telephone line. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Please raise your voice and turn your system down. Raise your voice, but turn your system down. Please, your name and where you are.
Yeah, my name is Prophet Otinakachan of CK. I'm calling from Maba.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Okay. Director, I'd like to thank you very well, because you've been trying to educate us. And now, after listening to you, the other time you talked about Googling about nation and some other things. While I was going through that, I was able to discover something. There's this, an American that answers Biafra. I don't know if you've come across that before.
No, I know there was a conservative. Is it Jello Biafra? Is it Jello the musician?
Yeah, Jello Biafra. Yes, Jello Biafra.
Yes.
I saw that, and the thing tripped me. I marveled about it. So I decided to, hint you. And the man is a musician, and also is an activist. He's a politician also. So I don't know if maybe if you can try him or reach him, maybe he could be of any help in promoting our Biafra cause. That's what I wanted to add.
And it's a very good idea, and I'm sure most people have written to him. We can promote our cause ourselves. Of course, it's important that we need friends, but he's a musician. If he wants to come to us, he is at liberty to do so. And thank you very much for that very kind suggestion. This is Radio Biafra. We have a caller on Skype. Sorry, on Viber. Can you hear me? On Viber, please. Not on Skype. Can you hear me? The caller on Viber. Can you hear me? I have a caller on Viber. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My goodness me. Sorry?
Onyali Fred calling from Germany, Munchen.
Thank you. Go ahead. Fred Onyali, go ahead.
I've been listening, and I see the enthusiasm of the desire to bring Biafra in the life of our people. And I'm very happy. It has been more than 6 months I've been calling. But people at home, they don't allow us to call again. And I'm happy for that, because we have been trying to make it reach them, and now it is reaching them. Nobody can say that our message is not reaching home again. Our message is now at home. And I want to thank everybody that is doing one thing or the other to make sure that Biafra comes, that nobody should stop doing. We continue doing all the things we are doing, and we are employing others to come and join us so that we will achieve this aim. And I want to remind or say that it's like I see in your Facebook picture, you changed the picture there. You know, there's something that happens to those people at home in the zoo. They always use somebody's picture and create a Facebook page. And in this case, they use it to dupe people, mostly overseas. So in this case, they may create such a thing as much as to get information from friends all over the world, or some security informations. Somebody may try to inbox you without knowing that the inbox is going to another person who is not the right person. So whenever you change any picture on your Facebook
picture, you let us know so that we can know when Agwo ban in Africa.
You are correct. You are very, very correct. I've changed mine to the profile picture that I saw our CEOC put up, which is that Biafra sovereignty is not negotiable. You will see it. That is I understand what you're saying, of course, Onyali, and which makes perfect sense to me.
On the other hand, I wrote the other day on the Facebook because I know that this man, this Islamic terrorist, immediately he's sworn in now. His first attention will be to clamp down on those agitating for freedom. And there's no other group he would like to, because we are shaking them now. He may like to clamp down on our people down there, and he may even go as far as arresting anybody with a Biafran T-shirt or even detaining them. So I don't know, we have to make effort that such a thing will not happen. The zoo have already the freedom of speech and the freedom of press, and I think it's not authorized for him as an individual or his government to remove it. So we have to do something so that our people down there will be protected as well. So I use the opportunity to thank all Biafrans all over the world. That we are not calling does not mean that we are not listening. We are always on the ground. But I want to say that those that are not calling are greater in number than those that are calling.
Of course.
That we are working behind the scene to make sure that everything is going well.
Of course.
So I encourage all Biafrans in Germany, remember that we are first and we continue to be first. We cannot go back. So all Biafrans in Germany, wherever you are, remember to attend your meetings in your units and contribute, because this is a noble cause. You'll be happy that your name is added in the history of those who restored Biafra. I thank you all, and may God bless Biafra.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. That brings us quite nicely to the end of our program this very evening. But before I do so, I have a meeting to announce. I have a meeting to announce this very day, and please pay very close attention to this very meeting. Everywhere, there's even a meeting in Cork as well. Cork in Ireland, they're having a meeting. There is also a meeting running in which part of Germany is this? Where is this? In Düsseldorf. Düsseldorf meeting is also coming up. When is this meeting coming up? I want to know. It's tomorrow. There is a meeting in Düsseldorf tomorrow, 5 p.m. The address is Floorstrasse, NR 57. This is from who is announcing this? I know I can see Louise Nicole's name here, who is the wife of one of our brothers in Germany. Please, Ikechukwu's, of course, Ikechukwu Amako. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. I keep seeing your wife's picture and it confuses me all the time. Thank you very much for that. You're announcing the meeting for the Düsseldorf family tomorrow, please, at 5 p.m. The address is Floorstrasse, F-L-U-R, Strasse, which means street, I believe, NR 57. That's all I have here with me. I don't know where the meeting for Cork is. I can't find it anymore. They sent it to me. I can no longer be able to announce it, but the one for Dublin is here as well. Dublin is meeting tomorrow also. Their time is 4 p.m. The Biafran family, the IPOB family meeting, is holding at number 64 Knockmore, number 64 Knockmore in Acklow, which is in County Wicklow. The contact number for the takeoff point, remember, takeoff point is 125 Parnell Street. But the number to contact if you want to join them is 0894-344-609. I repeat, 089-434-4609. I know there's a meeting in Cork, but I can no longer find that very announcement to make it. I cannot find it. You have to forgive me, but I will do so in the morning. But please, if you are listening from Cork in Ireland, prepare for meeting tomorrow. Prepare rather for meeting tomorrow, please, because something was sent to me by Awuzie, one of our people there, because it's one of us. When I say somebody is one of us, it means they are hardcore. Awuzie is one of us. He sent me something to announce, but I couldn't find it anymore. You must forgive me. I'll try and find it before morning, or else resend it to me, please. The family meeting in Cork is also holding tomorrow. There were people that we were hoping that they were strong enough to follow us in this very quest in Cork. Unfortunately, they fell by the wayside. Unfortunately. And I'm telling you, forgive them. For those in Cork, we forgive them. I understand how they were misled. If they wish to come back, they will apologize to the meeting in Cork. Just forgive them. There are those that can never ever be forgiven. But those in Cork, if they come back, just allow them. I'm sure they won't do it next time. This is Radio Biafra. We thank you all for having listened to us. But this evening, if you never took anything away from our broadcast this very day, one thing stands out, and is clearly unmistakable. That is the very fact that Biafra is our religion. Here on Radio Biafra is where we worship, because Chukwu Abiyama is our God, and He will guide, bless, nurture, sustain, and keep each and every one of you and your families. But more importantly, Chukwu Abiyama will bless Biafra. And thank you all for listening from me from here. This very moment, it is simply good evening.
Triumphant from all our foes.